And we are live for the first review of this season. Wow, what an opening weekend we had. A few dull games, but some very, very entertaining ones. We had some unexpected, some shock results. We had some expected results. Some results were formality. But all in all, I'm just happy that Premier League football is back because some of us can't do without the football, man. You know what I'm saying? And it was a quick turnaround. I gotta say, it was a really, really, really quick turnaround. So, guys, we are going to get into the review, the first review. But something that I want to share with the people who did not tune into the prediction, right? And I want to actually touch on the predictions once again. All right. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to share the predictions again and should pop up pretty soon. It's taking a while, but I want to share the predictions because every week I'm probably going to share my predictions. You know what I'm saying? Every single week, but it's taking. I don't know why everything is taking so long to load, but it's maybe because I have a few tabs open and I shouldn't have so many tabs open. But okay, let me. Yeah. I actually didn't press go, so this is my prediction this season, guys. This is my prediction. I'm going for Liverpool to actually win the league, despite them starting with a draw. Still early times. I'm going for Liverpool to win the league ahead of City. It's just up to Man City to say, hey, man, we're serious about this three-peat, and you were wrong, Dom. You were wrong. You see what I mean? Because I don't think we're going to do the three-peat. I don't want to be screaming three-peat all season and then we end up coming third. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to put the third the three into three-peat by coming third. So I'm gonna go for City to win the I'm gonna go for Liverpool to win the league, City to come in second, barely, you know what I mean? Liverpool to barely win the league like we barely win the league last season. Spurs third, Arsenal fourth, Chelsea fifth, Man United sixth, Newcastle United to get European football in seventh. Then we got West Ham in eighth, Aston Villa ninth, Crystal Palace 10th, Leicester 11th, Wolves 12th. My surprise pick, Nottingham Forest 13th, Everton 14th. We have Brighton in 15th, Leeds in 16th, and Fulham just surviving in the 17th position. Relegated teams for me this season, Southampton, Brentford, and Bournemouth. Look, I'm not saying I'm going to get these right, but I had to make some predictions, and these are my predictions, man. You know what I'm saying? So let's see how many I get right when we get to maybe the World Cup. I'll react to my picks and see how everything is going up until that point. So that's what my predictions are looking like. And I'd like to big up to everybody for tuning in to the review once again. Last season I called it the roundup, but this season I'm calling it the review. So we got 10 games to review, and we are going to get into those games, man. I don't want to be here all night. If we get into a discussion on something, if somebody asks a question and we get into some deep discussion, then yeah, maybe we might be here for a long time, but that's not the plan. So, look, without further ado, guys, let's talk about these fixtures, man. You know, let's go to the Premier League website. You see, debut double for Haaland while Brighton stunned Manchester United. I don't think they stunned United because they actually beat United 4-0 the last time the two teams met. So it was just something that Brighton are getting used to doing. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think they were actually, I don't think anyone was actually stunned that that happened to Manchester United. So in terms of the headlights, what else we got here? Scholes said, Haaland reminds me of Van Nistelrooy. So anything else here in terms of the highlight, the headlines to talk about? We have some transfer updates as well that we're gonna definitely get into when we're done with the review. we're gonna get into some of these transfers because there have been transfers. I've seen Helder Costa move into I think Al Ittihad in the Saudi Arabian League, if I'm not mistaken. So we got a few transfers to get into. So let's get into these fixtures and the first match that we're gonna talk about. Let's start with the Crystal Palace Arsenal game. You know, that was the first match of the season. Gabriel Martinelli scored the first goal of the season, and we're gonna discuss this game, you know, as much as I could actually remember. I'm not going to do a deep dive into this one because this was on Friday. And oh man, I left my notes upstairs. But I remember my picks, though. I do remember my picks and everything, but I left my notes upstairs. I like to have my notes handy and everything. I should actually get it because when I get to the Man City game, the Liverpool game, the United game, I have some very important notes. I actually want to touch on. I don't want to miss anything when it comes to those reviews whatsoever. So let's take a look at this game. Crystal Palace nil, Arsenal 2. I think you know what? Let me get my book, man. Give me 1 second. Let me get my book. I should have had it. I should have had it. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Apologize for that. Definitely apologize. But I am back. So this game I did predict a 2-2 draw, but it ended in a win for Arsenal. And the reason why I went for the draw is because last season Crystal Palace went unbeaten against Arsenal. So I did give them a little bit of respect, and I said they're gonna pull off something again. They're gonna pull off something, but they failed to do so. Arsenal, they showed a lot of intent. I really like the look of Mikel Arteta's team. The Gabriel Martinelli goal was a good team goal. Zinchenko involved in that goal with the assist, and Martinelli clinical, from close range. And later in the match, he had an 85th minute own goal by Mark Guehi. And Arsenal, I think, very, very, very convincing in this game, especially in defense. If we take a look at the lineup, guys, you could see Gabriel Magalhaes along with William Saliba. And William Saliba was the more impressive of all the defenders. Zinchenko, I think, slotted into that Arsenal backline seamlessly, and he was exuding a lot of confidence. The confidence that we saw at the back end of his Manchester City career when he was, toting that Ukrainian flag amid all the crisis and everything. And he definitely looked good, man. Zinchenko looked good. Zinchenko looked like a real left back in that game, and we know he's a midfielder, but he looked real good. He kept Kieran Tierney out of the starting 11. Tierney came on a bit later. And I was very impressed with Ben White at right back. He managed Zaha very, very, very well. And if you take a look at the rest of the lineup, Thomas Partey, going through some controversial things right now. We're not going to get too much into that, but the fans were actually booing Thomas Partey every time he touched the ball. I think there was actually a banner flew across the field and all on a plane about the whole Thomas Partey situation. Odegaard, the new captain, he looks good as usual. And Granit Xhaka, you know what I mean? He can't avoid the spotlight with that dive, picked up a yellow card. And Saka, man, what a talent. What a talent. He was responsible for that shot that Mark Guehi diverted into the back of the net. And I'm telling you, the two Gabriels, Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli, look bright. If this is what we're going to see from Arsenal this season, guys, top 4 for sure, like I predicted. Top 4 for sure. I'm telling you. They look really, really good. I'm impressed. I think Arteta knows his best 11, unlike a certain Thomas Tuchel, who I always criticize for not knowing his best 11. But I think Arteta knows what he wants to do. And I've been seeing a record recently where Arteta, since he took charge, has the third most amount of wins behind Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola. So You got to give the man his flowers, man. He's doing a great job. He's definitely doing a great job and flying under the radar at Arsenal. So if we just take a quick look at the Arsenal lineup, that this is something I want to do as well, seeing that it's the first match day, so we could see who was involved. Guys, remember it's 5 subs. Every single team allow 5 subs this season. Other leagues were using 5 subs. Only the Premier League was still using 3 for the most part. And you could see Tierney in the 83rd. Albert Sambilokanga got a little run in the 93rd minute. Eddie Nketiah also got a little cameo for Gabriel Jesus. And we might see the workload shared between Eddie Nketiah and Jesus, you know what I'm saying? And Nketiah, who actually extended his contract at Arsenal. You had unused players like Reece Nelson, Nicola Pepe, Mohamed El Neni, Cedric Suarez. So you see the depth that Arsenal possesses this season. Matt Turner, the American goalkeeper, I think, is a perfect backup goalkeeper where I don't think he's good enough to be number one, but also, he's a perfect goalkeeper to run out in the cups and just play second fiddle to Aaron Ramsdale, who has been quality since he signed up for Arsenal from Sheffield United. So we go over to the Crystal Palace team, man. Patrick Vieira, I think, has done a great job with the team so far. But, I think he's a very, let's say, an attacking minded type of manager. And he takes the games to teams. I don't think they played badly. But Arsenal were just very, very sound defensively on the day. And anything Crystal Palace had going forward was just dealt with, man. Because they're not a bad team. You know what I'm saying? Guaita in goal. I think he got some competition this season for the goalkeeping spot along with John Stone, who's injured at the moment. So we might see John Stone get into the 11 sooner rather than later. But the back line of Mitchell, Guehi, Anderson, and Klein, you know what I mean? It's a good back line. This team is a nice, neat little team, man. Check Dukori. He didn't last the entire 90. Welcome to the Premier League. Schlupp, Zaha, Eze, Ayu. These guys were all busy. Edward got the nod ahead of Mateta, while Christian Benteke left for the MLS. All the best to him. When you take a look at the bench, Luka Milivojevic came on, Will Hughes, Malcolm Ibiaway. He looked really lively when he came on for the little cameo there. I'm surprised to see Jairo Riedewald in this team still. And Mateta came on and played for about 32 minutes. So Crystal Palace, I think they did try their hardest, but Arsenal were just too damn good on the day, and they picked up all 3 points. So, what are you guys saying about the Arsenal Crystal Palace game? Let me see if anyone actually is saying anything about this. Kevin Morris, Saliba is a beast. Quality comment there, and Saliba definitely look good on the day, and I know the Arsenal fans are stoked about it because he was signed a few seasons ago and then sent back to the French league on loan, I think twice, and now he's finally getting to show the fans what he's capable of doing. Big up to Clinical, who says Saliba was really good, I have to admit. And we have Ilya Sai saying they miss Conor Gallagher in the midfield, which is a great point as well. Verily Pichu, impressive win for Arsenal. Paloma is saying the ref was kind of dodgy, but Arsenal most definitely deserve no less than 3 points. I like these comments that you guys are dropping right now, man. You know what I mean? Readable stuff. Abel is saying partner with the quick one-touch passes to avoid the booze. What else we got here, man? Elias is saying Arsenal looking to challenge for the title this season. Good luck to them. It's not going to be very, very easy. Donovan is saying, if City don't win the league, it'll be Tottenham, not Liverpool. Okay. Jennifer Lee, as a Spurs fan, couldn't be happier with how week 1 went. So big up to the awesome BLE. Big up to everybody watching the stream right about now. Make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. We'll definitely appreciate that. So don't want to drag this out too longer. You know what I'm saying? I touched on a lot of things that I needed to touch on. I think I made some great points, when it comes to the players and everything. And we could only look forward to week 2 to see, how these teams fare in their second match. As for Arsenal, their next match will be against Leicester City, who didn't look too bad on match day 1, but needed some more game management. So Arsenal will play their first home game against a Leicester that could prove to be very, very tricky. They could be a pushover on the day at times. Then they do play Bournemouth. So some challenging fixtures coming up, but it's winnable fixtures for Arsenal where they need to actually improve on the start they did last season. As for Crystal Palace, Patrick Vieira and Crystal Palace, guys, remember Patrick Vieira is an Arsenal legend, while as a player, and it must have been tough to lose to his former team. He also played for Manchester City as well, guys. And I also met Patrick Vieira on a plane going to Florida back in 2018. So for Crystal Palace, their next game will be a tough one against Liverpool. Crystal Palace need to improve on the performance against Arsenal, or else it's gonna be no points in 2 games. It's gonna be tough. Just want to put it out there. Might not be a very, very good start to the season for Palace at all. So, with that being said, guys, we're going to keep it moving. I did predict a draw. Arsenal picked up a win. Congratulations to them. Let's talk about the Bournemouth to Aston Villa nil match. I actually predicted Aston Villa to defeat Bournemouth in this game, 2-0, but it was actually the other way around. So, look, early goal by Jefferson Lerma. It looked kind of strange watching Bournemouth playing on that very small playing field again. So, you know, I'm pretty sure Aston Villa had to make some adjustments as well. But Bournemouth looked very, very, very lively in this game. I gotta say, man, they look good. They really, really look good. And Kiefer Moore, brilliant header, man, long range header. I have to say, crossing from Lloyd Kelly, and Kiefer Moore with the header in the 80th minute. So very, very positive stuff from Bournemouth. I'm telling you, man. Martinez was forced into a couple of saves. If we go over and we look at the stats here, Aston Villa, 15 shots, only 2 on target, need to be a bit more clinical than that. And 65.6% of the ball. So they had a lot of the ball. They looked the better team, but Bournemouth were the more effective. And the fact that they got that early goal, they didn't need to play play overly expansive football when you have the lead. It just required a bit of game management. So definitely congratulations to Scott Parker and Bournemouth. I predicted Bournemouth to get relegated, guys. So they ought to prove me wrong. And they just signed goalkeeper Neto from Barcelona as well. And I think they're looking to bring in a player by the name of what's his name? Senesi? Marco Senesi from Feyenoord. So they're looking to bolster their back line, especially, with the defensive signings there, the goalkeeper and the center half. And you know what they say? Defenses win you titles, but in Bournemouth's case, where they won't go on to win the title, I'm pretty sure. You never know, but I'm pretty sure. I think it could help them stay up. So never mind me predicting Bournemouth going down. They could stay up. You see what I'm saying? That's just how I felt about the whole situation before the league started. Remember, the transfer window is still open. Anything could actually happen. So I'm not saying, my predictions are going to be right. It is what it is, man. It's all for entertainment purposes. Let me just put it out there one time. All for entertainment purposes. But Bournemouth do look like they mean business. What I want to know is the fact that Mark Travers is given the number 1 jersey, right? And you bring in Neto, the more experienced, probably the more quality goalkeeper. Is Travers going to drop to the number 2 spot? You see what I'm saying? So it's going to be interesting to see what happened, though. Seriously. But look, Bournemouth back in the league. I said in the preview that they look sort of like the team they looked like when they last played in the Premier League. And that's somewhat of a reason why I went for them to get relegated, guys, again. But who knows, man? Who knows? You know what I mean? It was an impressive showing on opening day. And if you look around the team, a lot of experience, man. A lot of guys that played in the Premier League before. You look at Travers and you look at Lord Kelly, Meffam, Lermus, Adam Smith. All these guys played in the league already. Billing, Jordan Zimura, Zimbabwean, he looked very, very bright on the day. You see what I mean? But Solanke, telling you, Solanke, I mentioned that he needs to prove himself. Ripped up the championship, second most goals behind Mitrovic, and he would need to prove that he's not just a championship striker. You see what I mean? And who could remember when Liverpool actually swindled Bournemouth out of a bigger, large amount of money for an unproven striker like Dominic Solanke? But who knows, man? He might just prove his worth in this season. Bournemouth's return to the top league. So look, Scott Parker, I criticized. I said he's not the best, but he might actually prove me wrong too. So that's just to take a look at the lineup there. Marcus Tavernier, his brother does play for Rangers. He didn't look too bad on the day as well. And we take a look at the substitutes here. Jack Stacey, he was a part of the club the last time. Lewis Cook, he's been around the club for a very, very long time as well. I have guys like Ryan Christie, Emiliano Marcondes. I think he used to play for Brentford, if I'm not mistaken. Junior Stanislaus, who just came on for a late cameo. He's one of the more quality players in their team, so you might see his involvement, a lot more going forward. And you have a few players I'm not, familiar with, Sikiri Dembele and Jaden Anthony. As for Aston Villa, guys, post start, not, I didn't expect them to lose 2-0 to newly promoted Bournemouth, but that is exactly what transpired, and they would need to go back to the drawing board and come better in their next game. Look, one thing I noticed from the start is Diego Carlos in for Tyrone Mings. You know what I'm saying? So we know Tyrone Mings, he's definitely error prone. And if you go back and you watch the Aston Villa versus Manchester City game, the final game of the season there for both clubs, Tyrone Mings' heavy touch gifted the ball back to De Bruyne, who squared it for Gundogan's tapping, So Tyrone Mings, man, and he's a former Bournemouth player as well. So, probably, kind of wanted to play against his old team. So, look, Matt Cash, Diego Carlos, Ezri Konza, and Luca Dean. A lot of quality along with Emiliano Martinez in goal. The midfielder, Boubacar Kamara, he looked bright. He did get a shot that, brushed wide. Jacob Ramsey went off at halftime. Maybe an injury problem there with him. And John McGinn, captain on the day. Ings, Philip Coutinho, and Leon Bailey proved to be, rather tame on the day for Bournemouth and didn't trouble the scoreline. Ollie Watkins did get a run out along with Cameron Archer, the youngster. Emi Buendia, Douglas Luiz, 4 subs used. Ashley Young still in the team. Tyrone Mings unused. Callum Chambers and the new left back, Ludwig Augustinson. So that's, how this game transpired. Big win. I'm telling you, these are crucial 3 points for a team like Bournemouth because, you could have a situation. We know every season there's a situation where there's like 5-6 games played and there's a certain team that only picks up 1 or 2 points. You see what I mean? Or none. And that would be a really, really tough setback to, and a hard way to start the season. So you pick up these points as early as possible and get the pressure off and in quest to survive the Premier League season. So that's my thoughts on that one. Nothing more to add. I did not watch this one live, but I was following, while watching the other games. And of course, I watched the replay. So any thoughts on this, guys? We'll definitely appreciate it. Make sure you smash up the thumbs up button for the live stream as we go along. So let me see here. Let me see what we got here. We got Palomo. Bournemouth must not get too ahead of themselves. They still need to prove that this was not a one-match fluke. So very lame pitches in Bournemouth Stadium is very small for a Premier League team. Indeed, man. Indeed. So what else we got here, man? Let me see. We have Elias is saying that Mings is Premier League proven, still better than Diego Carlos. I don't think so, man. Tyrone Mings is very error prone, and he could be a liability for Aston Villa, because many times, man, Tyrone Mings just have this. Everything could be going smoothly, and then Tyrone Mings happen. You see, so that is why I actually mentioned that. So Abel is saying, Dom, stop repeating that over and over again. Mings is a bum. Stop repeating what over and over again? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. So J Bone is saying, fun fact, Bournemouth play at my local Arby's, attendance max 50 serve with curly fries. So Dom, I also predicted the same score as you, but it was wrong. Yeah, man. So damn, my other computer is over here like acting mad crazy. The mouse is like doing what it wants to do. So just trying to get my little, background grooves going. But the mouse is like really bugging out, man. I don't know what is going on with this mouse. I cleaned the computer, like I just wiped the computer with some wipes, and then it decides to start acting up. So that's 2 games down, guys. 2 games. Big up to Pachar, who's asking, Down, what's wrong with United? I don't understand. Do you play fantasy Premier League? No, I don't. Definitely don't. But I'll get into it one day, though. I'll get into it one day. Guys, don't forget to smash the thumbs up button. This is Match Week 1 review. And, we're doing pretty okay so far. 2 matches down. And we're gonna keep it moving, man. But Bournemouth definitely shocked me in this one. Definitely. I ain't gonna lie at all. So the next game, Leeds United 2. Wolverhampton Wanderers 1 in a come from behind victory for Jesse March and his boys. And guess what, guys? I did predict Leeds United to win this game. So not a bad prediction at all. I didn't do too bad at all. I didn't do too bad when it comes to the predictions this week. I did get some wrong, of course, which is understandable. But I think I did a good job. You know what I mean? I think I really, really did. So even though I got the first 2 matches wrong, the Arsenal, Crystal Palace, and then the Bournemouth, Aston Villa, I got this one right. Not the exact scoreline, but I got it right. So in this game, Wolverhampton Wanderers scored first. Daniel Podence in the 6th minute. That was a really good goal. I like those kind of goals. You know what I mean? Good team play, and final shot by Podence that went over the keeper, hit the post down into the ground. I like that. Spectacular goal in my opinion. Hwang Hee-chan with the assist. So needed to reply. And this I have to say was one of the more entertaining matches, because I did not watch the game live. I was following the game, but on watching the highlights, oh my God, action packed, man, action packed. Both teams had a lot of chances, and this game could have went any which way. You go and you look at the stats here, guys. 12 shots for Leeds, 4 on target, 15 shots for Wolves, 6 on target. You could see the position 60-40. It was a very good game of football. Very, very entertaining game of football. Rodrigo in the 24th minute. And I have to say, the 2 goals conceded by Wolves, you gotta actually criticize Ryan Ain't Nori for those goals, because he was too many touches in the box. Too many touches in the box for that first goal. You just got to get rid of the ball. Stop daddling on the ball and playing around and dribbling in the box. Just get rid of the ball. It was taken away, and when they tried to clear it, it fell nicely to Rodrigo, who could be criticized for not contributing enough last season in terms of goals and assists. He banged it in at the near post, and Jose Sa got a hand to it, but wasn't strong enough to keep it out the back of the net. And that second goal, Ryan Nori put it in after nice square from wide, and Aronson on debut actually ran onto it, but the goal was credited to Ryan Nori. So 2-1 win for Leeds United. Good come from behind win. And it was a little, fight at the end there between Jesse Marsh and Bruno Lage. I hope these guys meet and, shake hands in the future or something, or they hit each other up on Twitter and say, hey, man, I'm sorry about, my behavior today. But it was heated, man. It was a heated exchange between the two managers, and Jesse March pumped up. Big 3 points there for Leeds United. He helped them survive the drop last season, and he would love to help them stay in the league. I think the key, and I think the aim for Leeds United is to stay in the league. Forget about, of course, you would want to get a European spot, but most importantly, stay in the league. Massive, massive football club, and the Premier League needs these clubs like Leeds United. So tough start for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and I expect them to have a very rough season, seeing that they're dealing with a lot of injuries. There's players linked with moves. Connor Cody, you look at the lineup, guys. You look at the lineup for Wolves, and look at the back line. New man Nathan Collins from Burnley. Johnny playing as a center back. Max Kilman, Johnny actually played as a left back. Ryan Aït-Nouri as a right back. But Max Kilman as a center back last season was his breakout year. And there was no Connor Cody. You see what I'm saying? You go down to the bench here. Both Willie Barley and Connor Cody on the bench. Connor Cody heavily linked with a move to Everton, and I think that deal is going to be made permanent next week. So all the best. But wait, Connor Cody is a Liverpool fan though. From the last, I'm not remembering. Connor Cody is actually a Liverpool fan. Whoa, he's actually a Liverpool fan, and that is a known fact that he's a Liverpool fan, and he is from Liverpool as well. So even if he does not get to play for the club he supports from Liverpool, he's gonna go over to the enemies. I'm pretty sure that I saw Connor Cody is going to Everton. I'm pretty sure that's what I've seen on Fabrizio Romano's Twitter. Am I wrong, guys? Or am I right? I'm looking for it right now, but I think that's what I saw, Connor Cody, and I was like, whoa. I wasn't expecting him to yeah. Everton are set to sign Connor Cody, agreement in principle with Wolves. Gonna be a loan with buy clause also included. Personal terms almost agreed. Cody wants the move. Details discussed, while Onana will be announced as new Everton player soon. So that is some crazy stuff. Connor Cody is going to Everton. Oh my God. Oh my God, that is crazy though. That is crazy. But I'm glad that I actually picked up and remember to mention that little tidbit right there. But going back to the 11 there, the Wolves 11, Pedro Neto was monstrous on the day, man. So, look for him to have a big season after, injury hampered him for the last, season and a half or so. Ruben Neves, I heard, has been linked to the move, out of the club as well. You see Gonzalo Guedes is actually going to get signed, another Portuguese in the team. Podence with the goal. That'll do a whole lot of good for his confidence. Morgan Gibbs-White, who was spent a lot of time out on loan, looked like he's ready to, take the Premier League by storm. Then Donker, I think, needs to step his game up. He could be a lot better. And Huang, who did get a couple chances to score but didn't do so, could prove to be a menace as well. Look, in terms of players coming off the bench, they only made one substitute, and that's the youngster Chem Campbell. I don't know the player. And if you look at their bench, they're very thin, very, very thin, man. A lot of these players are not, youngsters, not proven, and I'm pretty sure that's why Bruno Lage did not trust to bring him on. And you're not going to bring on Connor Cody. It's not a home game. You're not going to bring him on to say goodbye, because you don't want to bring him on and then he break a leg or something and then the deal can't go through. You see what I'm saying? So you go over to the Leeds United part, you know what I mean? Their team. Jesse March, I want to say this is his team. This team has Jesse March written all over it, right? This is not the Marcelo Bielsa way. This is not the Marcelo Bielsa team. You could see and I did mention this. I did mention this in the build-up. Rasmus Christensen, his signing. The other three players he inherited, you expect them to be there still, a mixture. But Tyler Adams, Brendan Aronson, right into the team. Mark Rocker, straight into the team. Bamford fit again. Of course, he's going to go into the team because he's the one that inspired Leeds in the season they survived and they did so well. But last season, they struggled because of his injury. But he's back and, did look threatening on the day as well. But look out for Aronson, man. You know what I mean? Expect him to have a better Premier League career than Josh Sargent. I don't know why I don't leave Josh Sargent alone, but Aronson is a live wire, man. So Tyler Adams, he doesn't back down from a duel in the midfield. So he's gonna stay very, very busy and give, opposition teams a lot of headache. So, but he could be a little rash at times, but he does not back down though. And the fact that these players are getting a move, got to move to the Premier League, it could actually help the U.S. national team at the World Cup as well, where these players are surrounded by more quality and they get into play better quality oppositions day in and day out. You see what I'm saying? So, look, in terms of subs used, Crescencio Somerville recently signed a new contract. Matthias Klick, one of the old boys. Joe Gelhardt, who's future star. Sam Greenwood, I don't know too much about him, but he featured last season and a couple other youngsters on the bench. So you could see the team is still very thin. A lot of players recovering from injury. Rafinha and Calvin Phillips left the club, left a big gaping hole in both attack and midfield there. So let's see how Leeds recover from those departures. Let's see if the new signings Jesse March brought in are actually going to be effective enough to propel them to maybe a top 10 finish. So, look, very entertaining game. I think it could have went either way, but, Leeds very determined in the end and ended up getting the 3 points. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Big up to everybody in the stream. Big up to Nippon. Appreciate you, man, coming through. Isaiah, nice to see you. I heard, man, you lost today. How bad was the loss? It was very, very bad. Very, 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 very bad. So, what else we got here, man? We have Palomo. Dom has said it before. The only loyal people in football are fans and Harry Kane. Indeed, indeed. So, Release the Chicken is saying Ruben Neves to United. That won't be a bad move, man. We'll talk about United pretty soon because they were quite awful. They were quite awful, I'm telling you. Very, very awful. So I'll get to United. I don't want to get to them right now. I have to rip a big hole into United. So I got to rip them a new one. So we'll get to United pretty soon. So look, big up to Devontae Caprice, who said Wolves has been a hit and miss from last season. Yeah, they had some good games, very, very good games, giving the top sides a lot of problems. But they were hot and cold. They still finished, in a respectable position in the league. So, look, we're going to keep it moving. We're doing very, very well, guys. And we're going to go on to the next fixture. And let's talk about Newcastle United beating Nottingham Forest 2-0. And in terms of my prediction for that one, guys, I did get that one spot on again. And my prediction for this one, let me find where I made my prediction there. Where's that game? This game is giving me some difficulties to locate on my notes. Where is it? Oh, I did predict a 1-0 win for Newcastle United. Ended up scoring 2. And these were 2 very good goals, man. Fabian Shaw with a long-range screamer. I think that was goal of the week in terms of the Premier League. I'm not talking about the Messi goal. I'm talking about the Premier League, okay? So don't come for me and tell me nothing about no Messi goal. I'm talking about the Fabian Shaw goal from distance. That was a hell of a freaking goal. And the Callum Wilson goal was very, very cheeky. Big up to Joel Linton for that assist. Player of the season for Newcastle last season, and he looked good on the day. He should have scored. He should have really scored. Look, told you guys about this Newcastle team. My prediction for Newcastle this season, 7th or higher. They might just finish ahead of Manchester United as well. Because I just like the look of this Newcastle team. And Eddie Howe has done such a great job that his contract as manager has already been extended. You see what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure when you get an extension, you probably get a hike in pay as well because that's a contract renewal. You know what I mean? So there's other little things in there, and a little bump in pay. You see what I'm saying? Maybe a new car. You see? So, yeah, man. Newcastle doing the damn thing. They're doing the damn thing. St. Maximal looked very, very bright. Could have actually, passed when he shoot. It could have been a tap in. Teammates were actually criticizing him for that. So they have a few things that they need to brush upon. But, from what we seen last season, the recovery was really, really good. And they're hitting the ground running once again. Look, Nottingham Forest, Steve Cooper's Forest, promoted for the first time in about 20 years. 20 years, right? About 20 years, yeah. About 23 years, I should say. And they made a lot of signings. I did predict them to place 13th and survive. I might actually regret that. You know what I mean? But it's only the first game. But Forest, in my opinion, they're trying. They made the signings to attempt to stay up. But could it be a situation like Fulham a few seasons ago when they just went berserk in the transfer window, signing this, that, and the third, and still got relegated? Nottingham Forest need to gel. These new players need to gel. They need to, and they need to gel fast because these games are going to come very, very quick. And by the time you blink, you're 5 games in with 2 points. You see what I'm saying? And that's not an ideal start for a team coming back to the Premier League. So, look, if we take a look at the lineups here for both clubs, Dean Henderson debuting for Forest, Manchester United. He's on loan there. Musa Niakate getting his Premier League debut as well. There's a few players getting their debut. I think Joe Worrell, that's his Premier League debut. Maybe Scott McKenna. I don't know the team very well. I'm going to keep it 100%. I do not know this team very well at all. I'm not going to act like I know the team very, very well because I don't. And there's a few players that we know. Players like Nico Williams, right? Jesse Lingard, Sam Surridge. Brennan Johnson did well last season in the championship. We know these players. But players like Jack Kalbach and Harry Toffolo and Lewis Bryan, are these guys Premier League quality players? That's going to be the question. And it's going to be how fast this team's going to gel and get up to speed with life in the Premier League. You look at the bench, Orel Mangala, he's a new man as well. Taiwo Owani, new man, didn't get the start. Alex Mighton, pretty sure this is his first time in the Premier League. You have Lyle Taylor, the guy from Montserrat. He doesn't take the knee. He was on the bench unused. Young French talent there, Loic Mbe. So, there's a question mark over this team when it comes to quality. But I did, maybe it was a wrong call to put them at 13th. But at the end of the day, it's still very early in the season. So, I'm not gonna, flake out on my predictions. I'm not gonna I shouldn't do that. I really shouldn't do that. So you take a look at the Newcastle side in terms of new players in their team, right? Eddie Howe chose to basically start off with his boys from last season. You go down the team, these are all players from last season. You see what I mean? So he's just applied a little bit of continuity here. It's all continuity. You had Sven Botman coming on late to make his Premier League debut, Ryan Fraser, Jacob Murphy, the super sub, Sean Longstaff, and Chris Wood making a late cameo there. So it's all familiar faces. They spent a lot of money last season, and they haven't really spent a lot in this transfer window, bringing in Sven Botman, one of the players, or maybe one or two other players that I'm, running a blank on right now. But expect this Newcastle team. Oh, how could I forget, man? Nick Pope making his Newcastle debut as well. How can I forget? I just saw Dubravka on the bench there, and I was like, yeah. So that's an upgrade on Dubravka, in my opinion. And I think that signing could prove to be a difference in how high Newcastle plays this season. So good way to start the season, and expected 3 points, and they did not disappoint me nor their fans at all. So in terms of Newcastle, I'm actually supposed to let you guys know who the teams play next, but I kind of slip up on that. But in terms of Newcastle, they play Brighton in their next game, and for Nottingham Forest, who's at 18th in the table right now, they have a very tricky fixture at home against the very vibrant West Ham. So that'll do it in terms of that fixture. Newcastle did not disappoint whatsoever. Big up to my boy Steve, big Newcastle fan. Steve, who jumps on the Champions League videos with me. Big up to him. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure he's stoked about that. So, what are you guys saying in the chat right about now, man? Appreciate everybody in here. Thanks for coming through. What we got here, man? TJ Scott. Colbeck used to start every week for Newcastle. Okay, I'm not familiar with Colbeck. Maybe when Newcastle were in the championship, but I'm not too familiar with that play at all. So, not gonna go down the Colbeck rabbit hole right about now at all. Jack Colback. Not gonna go down that rabbit hole right now. But I do have to, check out the Nottingham Forest team and click on the names and see a little bit of history when it comes to these players. I ain't gonna lie at all. Not gonna lie. And act like I know these players. I don't really follow the championship that much. But I might actually take a look at what happened in the championship, every time I do Premier League reviews, you know what I mean? So if anybody could remind me to do that, if you're interested in that, I'll definitely do that. So, yeah. So, any more comments here? So, Abel is saying, Eddie Howe is a manager who knows exactly what he wants and how to get it done. And I'm glad he got his extension. Yeah, man. So, what we got? Any more comments here? What we got, man? Any more quality comments here from you guys? Okay, let me see. All right. So Isaiah saying, so glad City won today. Had to go suit shopping and find stuff that fits. So I'm glad I didn't walk in with an L. Yeah, man. Felt good. Felt good to start with the big W, man. Gotta say, felt good. You know what I mean? After watching Liverpool draw and then watching Man United lose, it's only right that City start with a nice W, a nice 3 points. You see what I'm saying? Pretty good, pretty good. Pretty impressive too. We'll get to that. We definitely will get to that very, very soon. So let's not get too carried away at all. So look, let's move on, man. Let's move on. We got a lot more games to talk about. We might want to look at some other leagues and see what's going on as well. So let's not delay. Let's take a look at this game, man. This is one of the bigger ones. And that's Everton losing to Chelsea a goal to nil. And in terms of my prediction for this one, I did predict Chelsea to beat Everton 3 goals to 1. So not a bad prediction at all, but Chelsea weren't as prolific as I predicted them to be. The only goal of the game came courtesy of a ninth extra time. Well, the ninth minute of first half extra time by Jorginho. And it was a soft penalty. I'm not gonna act like it wasn't a soft penalty because we've seen, well, in terms of the Brighton Man United game where Lisandro Martinez basically kind of pushed Welbeck in the back, attempt to body him, but looked like he pushed him. That should have been given a penalty. But the little touch that Doucouré, had on who was it? Who was it he pushed down for Chelsea? I can't even remember. But it was soft, man. Was it Chilwell? It was very soft. And I was like, God damn, you give a penalty for that? I thought VAR was actually gonna overturn that. I'm like, you give a penalty for that? Come on. You could do better than that. That's soft. So you see, there goes the Premier League with the inconsistencies once again. Okay? Inconsistencies. And they need to polish up their game, man. The referees need to be a bit more, across the board when it comes to decisions, because it was a soft penalty. But it was given, and Jorginho stepped up, beat Pickford. And, it was a very, very difficult game to watch, I have to say. nothing fun about watching this game at all. Maybe the Chelsea fans just happy to, see their team back in action, to see Raheem Sterling and Khalidou Koulibaly run out, as new Chelsea players, and I have to say Sterling was the best player on the day for Chelsea. Now, even because he's a former Man City player, where I said I'm glad to see the back of Sterling actually, but he looked good. He looked good on the day. I gotta say, Sterling would be a menace at Chelsea. I think he would help Chelsea a lot this season. So I'm gonna leave it that right there. I don't think Kai Havertz and Mason Mount was involved in the game enough. And these guys are too talented not to cast a spell on matches lately, and they've been a bit inconsistent in my opinion, especially Mason Mount taking off in the 65th minute. You know what I'm saying? Kai Havertz as well. Remember, guys, there's 5 subs, so there's going to be a lot of substitutions this season. It's a World Cup year. Managers complaining about workload and everything. So they got a little bit of help there. You see what I'm saying? So players can't complain about fatigue and all of that when you're gonna have an opportunity to get subbed off. 5 subs, teams are gonna be bigger as well. So Chelsea, I really don't think they deserve the win. People might say, "Oh, why you hate?" I don't think they deserve the win. They didn't play like a team that deserved the win. I think Everton, they tried very, very hard, but the fact that they played without a recognized striker, I think that actually hurt them. If they had Richarlison, think Dominic Calvert-Lewin, one sold, one injured. It could have been a whole different game. Think about if Ducory did not commit that foul, it could have ended in a 0-0 game where Everton, I don't think was overly impressive either, but I think they held their own and, what I mean, they fought hard. And I think it's just an example of what this season is going to look like for Everton. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be a fight if they are to survive because, last season, Everton almost, they could have gotten relegated. So, you know, I think they got to be very, very, very careful this season not to fall into any kind of slump, or else it could spell disaster for the Toffees, the blue side of Liverpool. But it was the blue side of London that came out triumphant on the day. Then again, guys, you look at the Chelsea 11. Look, Khalidou Koulibaly, I think, had a very, very good debut, man. He looked good. He looked very, very good, man. Quick, assured, you know what I mean? Slotted into the back line very well. But I have to say, Chelsea, who are in pursuit of a new center back, they need to sign one really quick because that back line, that 3-pronged back line, over 100 years old, way too old. You see what I'm saying? Aspilicueta, Khalidou Koulibaly, and Thiago, these guys are not going to last the entire season. I know there's Malang Sarr and there's Chalobah on the bench. Those guys not gonna win you a title. Just want to put it out there. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. You see what I'm saying? You look at their midfield here with Jorginho, with Mount, with Kante. They look, Kante, he's gonna work hard. Jorginho, I think, gotta do more. He only steps up and takes penalties. He gotta do more. He gotta be more effective in the midfield, in my opinion. Look, Cucurella was brought in, competition for Ben Chilwell. Marcos Alonso should leave. Emerson might leave. So they have a lot of options at left back. But I think Cucurella looked good when he came on. Ben Chilwell probably criticized, you know what I mean? And that's just probably football fans being fickle at the fact that they do have a new left back and they want to treat the 50 million pound left back. So Chelsea, they've been splashing the cash on left backs, and it's like they play musical chairs. Let me see if this one will work. Let me see if this one will work. Let me see if this one will work. So let's see how that one works out. But Sterling, I have to say, deserves a whole lot of credit, man. A lot of credit. So I mentioned Cucurella came on. Pulisic came on. Didn't really do much. Loftus-Cheek, at the same time. And these players were playing out of position as well. So that's the other thing with Tuchel teams right about now. Conor Gallagher got a little cameo, and Armando Broja got a nice chunk of, game time there in the end. Look, I have to say, Thomas Tuchel needs to decide what he's going to do. Are you going to play Armando Broja as a striker, the out-and-out striker? Or are you going to go out and get another one? Because Timo Werner, who I criticized in the past, is leaving the club, right? Timo Werner is leaving. And I said Timo Werner is a flop. I talked about his numbers. Overzealous Chelsea fans came out and they said, Dom, you don't know what you're talking about. Timo Werner did this. Timo Werner ain't do jack shit at Chelsea. Okay? It was a waste of money. Waste. You see what I'm saying? And if Timo Werner was at a club like Manchester City, oh my God, you would have heard everybody talking about it. You see what I mean? You would have not heard the last of it. One of the last Man City flops I could think about, really flop, was maybe Eloquim Mangala. We paid a lot of money for him. Didn't really work out. Think about it. Not many players flop at City. But Timo Werner, man, it's a shadow of the Leipzig Timo Werner. And he's going back to Leipzig as well. So, Leipzig's probably saying, haha, made a lot of money. We're going to get him back. And we might get him cheaper too. So you look at this Everton team, man, the bench, very, very thin. Newman, Ruben, Vinagre, Mason Holgate was forced to come on early for what's his name again? I forgot his name. Name running a blank on me right now. Ben Godfrey, who was trying to recover a mistake and injured himself. Yerry Mina also struggled with some injuries. So there you see Everton having some centre-back problems. But the fact that they're looking to bring in Connor Cody, that could actually alleviate some of that problem. And they do have Mason Holgate and Michael Keane on the bench. So look, you need a deep squad and you need quality to survive. And most importantly, you need defenders. And I think Frank Lampard knows what he's doing in terms of straightening up his defense. That's where he's investing in, because he knows, look, if you're very good in defense, even if you're not scoring a lot of goals, you could eke out a lot of draws or squeeze out a little 1-0 win. You could shithouse yourself to maybe a 14th place finish, like I predicted for Everton this season. And I actually tweeted something on Twitter today. I said, Everton could be the new Burnleys of the Premier League, man. Because they're not going to score a lot of goals with the lack of these with the lack of clinical strikers. Well, Calvert-Lewin has fallen into the category of not being that clinical these days. And you look around the team, not many goal scorers. You see what I mean? Guys like Dele Alli got to put their hands up. Allen didn't feature. I don't know if he's going to remain at the club. That's maybe an indication that some of these players are not going to stay at the club. You know what I mean? Jean-Philippe Joubamar, I think he was in the Bundesliga for a little loan stint. Or did he go to Russia? I can't even remember. But these guys involved got to put their hands up, and they got to support the likes of Anthony Gordon and Damari Gray. Big up to Dwight McNeil, the Newman as well. Nathan Patterson, all these guys. Patterson, I think, made a debut there, if I'm not mistaken, and Tarkowski. So, look, not a bad outing for Everton, but Chelsea, I think, got very, very lucky, and they got that penalty, and they were able to, just defend well with the likes of Koulibaly and Thiago Silva, putting their aging bodies on the line and holding on to that clean sheet. So positives to really take from the game, and also some negatives that they got to work on. Edward Mendy in goal these days. You look down, Kepa still looking for a way out, and let's see if he does get a move out of Chelsea. So that's my thoughts on that one. I did go on a little longer than I should, but I have to say what I have to say, man. You know what I mean? That's the purpose of doing a live stream and not just a video. I have to say what I have to say. And that's why I do these like this. I don't want to be super long and boring or anything, but I just want to get my points out. Okay? So thanks for listening. Guys, make sure you do smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. We appreciate that. Remember, we will be doing one of these every single Premier League week, or even if there's midweek fixtures, we're going to try to do previews and reviews for every week or for every midweek fixtures that we have. Doesn't matter, rain, sun, or shine. Doesn't matter what I gotta do. I'm gonna make sure I get it done. I'll be here with the consistency again this season. All right, guys? That's the only way you're going to win, being consistent. So we're going to keep it moving, guys. You know, of course, there's going to be some points that I'm not going to make, some things that I'm not going to touch on. I can't talk about everything, guys. I'm only one guy. You see what I mean? So there's going to be a few things that I miss talking about and whatnot and so on and so forth. But, you know, I'll catch up on them when we do the next preview. I'll mention a few things that I failed to talk about and all of that good stuff. So let us move on to the next game, man. And just to touch on the games that we talked about so far, we talked about Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Bournemouth, Aston Villa, Leeds, Wolves, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, and Everton, Chelsea. So we are getting into the lower half, and let's talk Leicester versus Brentford, but not until I take a sip of this very refreshing water. Okay, should have been beer, but I didn't stop by the store today. Mm. All right. So look, before we do move on, what are you guys actually saying? Let me see if you guys are saying anything about Chelsea, though. Let me see if you guys are saying anything about Chelsea. So big up to my boy Qatar. How are you doing, man? He said you need another guy. You know, I'm good for now, man. I'm good for now. I'll have people come on in the future. I'm good for now. So let me see what you guys are saying here. Abel, yes, and to think Brighton have lost Bissouma and Cucurella and they still just crack on like nothing happened. Yep, great point, man. Great point. Let me see what you guys are saying here. You guys ain't saying much. Oh yeah, Benjamin Mendy. Yeah, man. God damn. How did I? He's a forgotten man, though. He's a forgotten man. That's why I forgot him. Benjamin Mendy is definitely a flop. Definitely. Okay. So thanks for reminding me. I don't mind. I stand corrected. I definitely stand corrected there. Definitely. Ampadu back in the squad at Chelsea. Yes, he's in the squad, but he didn't make the match day squad. Let me see. All right, so let's get into this one. Leicester 2, Brentford 2. And look, before I even get into anything, Leicester got to do better than that, man. They got to do better. I did predict them to finish in a respectable. I think I have Leicester at 11th this season, and they made me feel very good when they were 2-0 up. Castagna, good header from the corner in the 33rd minute. Madison with the delivery. And Keenan Dewsbury Hall, the breakup player last season. Jamie Vardy set him up. It was a good breakaway and a good long distance shot from Keenan Dewsbury Hall. Hit the post, went in. 2-0 up. I'm like, okay, Leicester are running riot here on Brentford. I predicted Brentford to get relegated this season, and I was like, yeah, Brentford are going to get relegated for sure. But these guys came roaring back in the second half, man. You know, some substitutions were made. Big up to Thomas Frank for, those tactical moves. And Ivan Toney. That goal by Ivan Toney, that's a good goal. Ball collected, defender held off, swivel, bang, in the back of the net. And Josh Da Silva just brought onto the field, left-footed banger into the back of the net as well to equalize. And I think, Leicester, they got to get criticized for this because it's poor defending on their behalf, right? I think with a Josh Da Silva goal, Amate was too standoffish, and I don't think he knew that Josh Da Silva is a left footer. You see what I'm saying? Or you could have actually tried to close him down, throw him off a little, but he just allowed him to do his thing, and he scored an equalizer. Leicester did not look too bad on the day. I think Tillemans did hit the post. There was a few close opportunities as well. But it's actually nice to see Danny Ward get an opportunity in goal for Leicester because Liverpool swindled Leicester out of about 14 million pounds or so for this dude. And he was not worth that kind of money. Liverpool are the swindlers of the Premier League when it comes to transfers. Players are very overpriced. You see what I'm saying? Like 20 million for Nico Williams. Like he's not worth 20 million pounds at all. Not worth 20 million. Either pounds, euros, whatever. He's not worth that. Most of Liverpool players are not worth what they sell them on for. And Danny Ward was definitely not worth that. But he's getting, some game time as Kasper Schmeichel have now moved on to OGC Nice in the French league. Okay? Just note that. Note. All right? Let's take a look at the stats really quick. 14 shots for Leicester, 5 on target. 8 shots for Brentford, 3 on target. I think Leicester dominant in the first half. And Brentford just grew in the game. You know what I'm saying? They came back in the second half. They had a good period. Ivan Toney with the goal. Ivan Toney had a great opportunity that he headed wide as well. So there were opportunities not taken. This could have went anyway. But Leicester, man, look, you're 2-0 up. You have to hold on to that type of lead. And they're way too guilty of doing that. Last season, we saw it. We saw how loose they were on set pieces as well. And this is not a great start to the season. But you could say at least they did not lose. At least they didn't Man United it. You see what I'm saying? And they picked up a point to get their season started. We take a look at the 11s here for both teams, right? Aaron Hickey getting a start for Brentford. That's their new man, the Scotsman, along with Ben Mee. So him along with these two players along with Rico Henry and Pontus Janssen were the defensive team there. Midfielders, we are very familiar with these midfielders. Christian Norgard, Matthias Jensen, and Vitaly Janelt. And the forwards, Johan Wissa, Ivan Toney, and Brian Mbeumo, who I saw just elected to play for the Cameroonian international team. So he might actually be at the World Cup, though. So, look, I picked Brentford to go down, right? And the reason why I picked Brentford to go down, let me tell you why, right? Let me tell you. I don't feel bad that I picked them to go down, But the reason why is they looked good last season and they went into like a slump. This is a long season. This is a long game. This is 38 matches. So you could play 5 games and win 3 and pick up a draw and lose 1. And then the next 8 games, you lose all. You see what I'm saying? And then you lose your confidence. You can't come out of the rut. And then you find yourself 25 games in with 17 points. And then 13 games to go. And then you could only muster up 13 more points. And then you go down to the championship. That's how cruel the league is. You see what I'm saying? So let me see how my predictions are going to work out. So Josh De Silva effective off the bench. Shandon Baptiste, Halil Dervisoglu, who did help the team go up to the Premier League a few seasons ago, but got sent out on loan. And Keane Lewis Potter getting a run out. Don't know too much about that player. Mads Beck Sorensen, who we saw a lot of last season there as well. So a lot of familiar faces, and Brentford are they're all actually going to bring in a very talented Dane, Mikkel Damsgaard. And I think he could actually be, one of the reasons why they stay up, if they stay up, because Damsgaard is a damn good talent. So we go to the Leicester team where, as you guys can see, Leicester only made a single sub. I was actually watching this game, tethering from my phone while watching the Man United Brighton game as well. And you know which game I was watching more off. It was the United Brighton because, you know what I mean? I was like, whoa, I was fully entertained watching that game. So, look, from the start, Madison and Vardy, Castagna and Didi, Dewsbury Hall, Tillemans is still at the club, and James Justin with a Marty Evans and Wesley Fofana, who Chelsea wants to bid £90 million for in defense with Danny Ward in goal. Leicester, you better take the 90 mil. You better take it, go over to the French league and buy 2 more defenders like Fofana and take the rest money and invest it in something, or put it in the kit, the savings. Put it in the save all. You see what I'm saying? Because you're not going to turn down 90 mil for no damn player, man. You know what I'm saying? You have options. You got Soyanchu you could use. You see what I'm saying? And you could bring in somebody else. Come on, make good decisions. I don't think they need the money, but they need some. They need signings. They do need signings. Nice to see Al Brighton in the team. You know, he's part of the title winning team as well. Only a few players left back from that era. You know, Dennis Pratt should stay after his loan stint in the Italian league. Iosi Perez. You know, so the Leicester team still got some quality there. They do have quality, but the squad is not deep enough, in my opinion. And now could also be a great opportunity to promote a couple youngsters. So big draw for Brentford. Really good come from behind draw. You're 2-0 down and you come back and get a point. Listen, man, round of applause to Brentford. So, look, in terms of Leicester and their next game, I will talk about the next week fixtures if I don't remember to say who every team's playing next. But Leicester do face Arsenal, and in terms of Brentford, their next game will be a tough one. Oh, not so tough one against Manchester United. Haha, Dom, why are you so funny, man? That was funny. That was funny. You know what I'm saying? All the United jokes are coming out tonight, man. All the United jokes. I should actually start writing these things down and have like a book of United jokes to drop every single night. You know, so yeah, maybe that's something I'll think about. Clinical, I hope Thomas Frank can get the best from Damsgaard. That kid is talented. Definitely is. So, Palomo, luckily, I got to go. Anyways, I don't have to deal with Matata strolling. I'll be watching. Yeah, Matata. Oh, God. Ah, man. Anyways, Marcel is saying Man United is easy pickings for everybody. And you know what's good? You know what we're seeing next? You know what we're gonna see? Not next, but pretty soon. Liverpool, Man United, very early in the season. So let's see if Liverpool could actually, make light work of United like they did last season. I think United lost like 9-1 or 9-0 or something to Liverpool last season. So let's see, man. Let's see. We'll talk about United pretty soon. So the next game that we're going to touch on, let's talk about them boys. Spurs. Let's talk about Tottenham. I could call them hot Spurs. They're hot. They're hot, man. They're hot. Okay? Very, very hot. And guys, oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, for the Leicester Brentford game, guess what my prediction was? A 1-1 draw. So quality prediction, man. Very, very good prediction. Tottenham, Southampton. Guess what my prediction was, guys? A 4-1 win for Spurs. 4-1. Listen to me. Listen to me. That's a quality prediction there. Quality. 4-1 prediction. 4-1 scoreline. Spurs, I predicted to come in third this season. Champions League again. Conte doing a damn thing. They look good. Just want to say they look good, man. They look good. I've been a Spurs hater in the past, but you can't hate on, something that's shining. You see what I'm saying? You really can't. Then you'll be a real, real hater. But look, Spurs, 21st minute, Ryan Sessegnon, good goal, would do a whole lot of good for his confidence. But that was a equalizing goal after the James Ward-Prowse volley. And when James Ward-Prowse scored that goal, I was saying, damn, that was an awful prediction I made there, man. Because that was a good start by Southampton, who are choosing to go with more youth than ever this season. And I'm predicting them to go down. And the reason why I'm predicting Southampton to go down, 4 out of the last 5 seasons, they have struggled. They have been relegation threatened in about 4 of the last 5 seasons. And I think this is where they're going to be pushed over the edge, just like Burnley. So, good goal to start things out. Musa Genipo, very, very good move to touch to the byline and to, loft it back to James Ward-Prowse. Very good goal. Prominent start. But are you going to manage the game well enough to get something from it? No. Ryan Sessegnon in the 21st, Dejan Kulusevski, who had a great season last year when he was brought in January. and he was one of the signings that helped Tottenham actually get, above Arsenal for that top four spot. And Eric Dyer with that, I think that was a low header that, he scored first goal in about a few years. Salisu's own goal in the 61st, very unfortunate. And Dejan Kulusevski to finish it off in the 63rd. Very, very good goal. And Spurs are rampant on the day. You don't often see Spurs score 4 goals, and you don't see Harry Kane and Heung-min Son on the score sheet. So credit to Spurs, which means that they have goals all over the field. And when you could rely on multiple players to score your goals, you're going to be successful. And when you only concede one in a 4-1 victory, it shows that your defense weren't too bad either. But I think this is where they need to actually work on the hardest, because guess what? Kane's going to do well. You see what I mean? When you look at their forward line, it's very assured. Kulusevski, Harry Kane, Son Heung-min, and when Richarlison is involved, you have him, you have Lucas Moura. You see what I mean? Am I forgetting any names? Am I forgetting anybody on the bench? You're going to have Perisic, Brian Hill if he's still at the club. You have a lot of forward, players, a lot of quality in the forward, right? In the midfield, Hybier is going to start. Bentancur is going to get that competition from Bissouma, who did look bright when he came on for his little cameo there. The fullback, there's a lot of competition there again. Right back, there's Royal, there's Jet Spence, there's Dougherty. So there's quality, and competition. Left back, the same. Reguilon, you have some of these guys might actually leave the club, but for now, you have Perisic, you have Sessegnon. These teams are going to be in a lot of competition, especially the Champions League and Europa League teams, right? So you need a deep squad. Ben Davies could play left back, but he's been more used as a center back these days. But that's why I say where I think they are a worry and where they could be, exploited and they could be vulnerable is in center back, right? Romero, we know, could be a little rash. Dyer could be very inconsistent. And Davies, I think he has improved for the last year or so, but he is not the greatest defender. You see what I mean? So you go and you look at Sanchez. He's been in and out of the team. You look at Longley getting a run out. I don't rate Longley that highly. So who knows? Maybe they need to bring in another center back, or maybe not. But let's see. Let's see how they fare, man. I'm going for them to come in third this season. And they were quite impressive. And after seeing what they did against Southampton in this game, I don't think many people would doubt that they are capable of finishing top 4 or even fighting for the title. Look, we go over to the Southampton team, guys. Hassan Hutel chose to just go in with his youth players from the get-go. Gavin Bazunu in goal. I agree going with Bazunu, you know what I mean? He's been impressive for Ireland and his loan stints from the Man City youth team. And remember, these guys are coming up from the Man City youth team, Not like they were youngsters already in the Man City first team. These are under 23 players that were sent out on loan. And Southampton are gamble. I think they're gambling with these players. You see what I mean? They're really, really gambling, man. Big time. Their defense does not look the strongest, in my opinion. Salisu has good games, and he's very inconsistent, in my opinion. He's good, but he's inconsistent. Like, he was very good against Man City, and like in other games, like you're like, what the hell is going on here? You see? Bednarek has been so-so. I've also heard, just through the grapevine, I heard that it doesn't have any. It has something to do with Southampton, but former Southampton defender Yannick Vestergaard might actually leave Leicester City too. So he's linked to another club. I can't remember the club right about now, but maybe can't remember if it's Bournemouth or Fulham or one of them clubs right there. But look, their defense looks shaky. Valerie didn't play much last season. The midfield, Romeo with the experience, Ward-Prowse with the quality. And I think one of the best players on the day was Romeo Lavia, the Man City, former Man City under 23 player. where there's a 40 million pound buyback clause for this guy, and I see why that's in there. Cause he's damn good. He's good, well poised on the ball, calm, cool, collected. But look, he's gonna have his work cut out for him. The fact that he's playing above guys like when you go down, what's his name, Diallo, young Ibrahima Diallo, and Stuart Armstrong, and these guys, it just shows how much quality he has. And I don't know if next game Hassan Huto need to revert to his more experienced guys. You see what I'm saying? In order to get some results and then start to mix it up as the season go along. Because it's risky playing these youngsters, man. I'm telling you, it's very, very, and not that you're playing one youngster, you're playing a whole lot of them. You see what I mean? You're playing a whole lot of them. Joel Aribo, he started his first game for Southampton as well. Didn't really do much. Nor did Adam Armstrong. You know, apart from the early on last season, he has not looked that good. So, yeah, Southampton, man, I'm scared for Southampton this season. I gotta say, I'm scared for them this season. They might just be going down. 8 shots on target, 18 shots, attempted for Spurs, 10 for Southampton, 2 on targets. They were thoroughly and utterly outplayed on the day. They need to up their game. So Spurs, look, team to watch this season. I don't have anything else to say right about now, but another thing that they have to learn to do is they're gonna have to manage the workload of the Champions League football along with the Premier League and the other leagues, right? The cup games. And I think if they do that, that's key to them doing very, very well this season. Because we've seen Tottenham go into the Europa Conference League and they put out very strong teams and it affect the league. And, so yeah, let's keep an eye on Tottenham this season. So in terms of who they play next, they're actually on top of the table right now in the league. It's only one game, but they're on top based on the amount of goals they scored. And for Tottenham, their next game will be against Chelsea. Big London derby early in the season. That'll be next Sunday. And that's a game to look forward to, man. Ugh, that's a sweet game. That is a sweet game. So I like these early ones, man. We got Liverpool, Man United coming up pretty soon. We got Chelsea, Tottenham coming up. Oh, ooh, that's nice. So look, in terms of Southampton, who do they have next time around? They're at the bottom of the table right now on goal difference, and their next game will be against Leeds. That'll be a tricky fixture, but it's a fixture that they could win. Then they do have Leicester, Man United, and Chelsea. So let's see how they do in their first opening 5 matches. So what are you guys saying right now in the chat? Big up to everybody, man. Make sure y'all smash the thumbs up button for the live stream. Do appreciate it. Big up to the boy Coach's Desk in the house who says, United we stand. Coach, bro, you should be ashamed. You should be ashamed. I know you want to be loyal and all, but come on, bro. If I'm you right now, I'll be hiding. I'll be underneath a couple pillows. You know what I'm saying? Or in the closet somewhere hiding, man, because United were damn awful. And we're going to get to them. We're going to definitely get to them. But I just want to see what you guys are saying in the chat right now. Big up to my boy Qatar again, who's saying Tottenham will win the league. I don't think so, but let's see. Let us see. So let me see what else we have. Let me see. Philip Bildwell is saying, sorry, Dominic. Spurs, same as every other team apart from Liverpool, can challenge City for the title. We shall see, man. I don't want to sound too overconfident, and next thing we get beaten again by Tottenham twice. So, yeah. You see? King Harder says we beat City twice last season and draw with Pool twice. So, who are those better teams? So you got to be careful of this Spurs team. But the thing is, Spurs got to win the games that they should win. And I mean, when you play, let's say, for example, London Derby against Fulham, you got to beat Fulham. You see what I'm saying? When you come up against Bournemouth, Forest, the newly promoted teams, you got to beat these teams. Or else don't come talk to me about no title. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear nothing about no title. if you can't beat these teams. You got to be able to beat these teams. You see what I mean? But guys, I leave the best for last. I leave the best reviews for last, and we get in there. I like to take the time to say hello to everybody. You know what I mean? It's nice to, just finish your work week and have Monday and Tuesday off from work to look forward to. I'm definitely looking forward to those days off, man. Even though I do get busy on the days off, still, days off is when you run errands and take care of a couple things and, sleeping late, sleep a lot, so yeah, it's nice. It is nice. But we have to continue this review, okay? And let's get into it right now. So, look, we have the game between Man United, Brighton. We have West Ham, Man City. And we have Liverpool, Fulham. Let me just make sure I talked about all these other games already. All right, we did. Let us talk about Man United 1, Brighton and Hove Albion 2. And I have to say, I did not predict this scoreline. And the reason why I didn't want to, I wanted to give Ten Hag the benefit of the doubt. You see what I'm saying? I respect him as a manager. He did good at Ajax and all. And I thought they would have come into this game at home, first match of the season, theater of dreams, but it was the opposite. Theater of nightmares in front of the owners, Sir Alex Ferguson, big crowd. Pretty sure it was a sellout crowd of about 70 plus thousand. And you're going to put on a lackluster, lazy, poor, damning performance like this. Like, come on, man. Come on. United, listen. Awful. Awful. They started the game kind of okay. You see what I mean? And let us just break this down properly. I have notes. I actually have notes for this. I wrote down notes for 3 games, and this is one of the games that I wrote notes down for. We're going to take our time, and we're going to break this game to fuck down. Okay? Part of the language. Sorry. Not sorry. But we're going to break it down. Let's take a look at the lineup first and foremost. But wait, before we get into it, right? The last time Man United and Brighton played each other, it was a massacre at the Amex Stadium. Let's just make that one clear. 4-0 for Brighton. And I thought that United were going to bounce back. New manager, new philosophy, and they were going to start brightly. But it was Brighton who were brighter on the day. Right? 2-1 win. Let's take a look at the lineups, right? And let me start. And I have some theories right now. Why didn't Ronaldo start? If he's fit and he could make the bench, why you have Cristiano Ronaldo on the bench? It's either he wasn't fully fit for the competitive match, or he's not part of the plans this season. It's either one or the other. You see what I mean? It's either he's not part of the plans, or he wasn't fit. Because you can't have Cristiano Ronaldo on no bench. You can't. Even at 37 years old, he's still good enough to start the game ahead of Rashford. You see what I'm saying? Or they call him Trashford these days. Not for his off the field exploits, but his on the field exploits. You know what I'm saying? Let us separate Marcus Rashford, the person, and Marcus Rashford, the footballer, please. Let's just do that. Okay? And when I'm talking about these players, I'm talking about the football character and not the person off the field with their family and so on and so forth. I'm not getting into that right now. But that's the first thing I noticed. No Cristiano Ronaldo. Very, very questionable move by Ten Hag, right? So the lineup included debutants Lisandro Martinez. He's only like 5'9" or so. He didn't have a great game. He did some things good, and he was suspect at other times. And he chose to start Lisandro Martinez. Look, ahead of Varane. You see what I'm saying? I don't really rate Varane all, like that, but you see what I'm saying? Varane and Maguire pardoned each other a lot last season. Maybe you should have went in with them and let Lisandro earn his place in a team. You see, that's just a point I'm trying to make. You see, but you went in for Lisandro, but you didn't go in with Terrell Malacia. I don't know if because you worked, with Lisandro before, and then you went in with Luke Shaw. You went in with Dallo instead of Wan-Bissaka. You see what I'm saying? You see where I'm getting at right about now. You see what I'm getting at? So Ten Hag needs to make up his mind. Is he going to go with the players that he brought in, or is he going to continue with McFred? I think he contradicted himself big time with the lineup, right? If he wanted to go with his lineup, a positive, maybe you should have went in with Donny van de Beek and put McTominay on the damn bench. You see what I'm saying? You get you get the point I'm trying to make. Because McTominay was very rash in the game. I think he should have got sent off for that tackle on Caicedo. Should have got sent off. He got a yellow, I think, for that. So the lineup, very, very, very suspect in my opinion. Sancho, all these, Ericsson debuting as well. The lineup was Bruno Fernandes, it was very suspect. And the standouts for me, Ronaldo not starting, McFred. I don't know if managers and football teams listen to fans and all criticism. Everybody criticizes the partnership between Fred and McTominay on the Solskjaer, on the Ragnick, and you still gonna come in and continue with McFred? Maybe he's saying, let me do the McFred thing and then let them play themselves out of the team and then bring in a Van der Beek, or if Frankie de Jong decides to go to United where he doesn't want to go, a player like him or whoever they bring in would join into the midfield, because Fred wasn't good. He gave away the ball a couple of times, wasn't punished. But McTominay, when he gave away the ball, he was surely freaking punished. You see what I'm saying? So the first goal, Pascal Gross in the 30th minute there. And look, it was poor defending on Man United's behalf, I have to say. Very, very poor. Very poor. Very poor. Not staying close enough to Pascal Gross, allowing him to get behind, bam, tapping. Not good enough. Danny Welbeck against his old team, that must have been sweet. And then Pascal Gross again in the 39th minute. And that was a very, very good shot that was parried and then put into the back of the net by Pascal Gross. You got to give it up to Leandro Trossard. Trossard, oh my God. For the first goal, that back heel. Woo! God damn. You see what I'm saying? God damn, that was nasty. That was nasty. But look, this Brighton team just went out there. They showed Man United absolutely no respect. And I think that's how they ended up getting, a favorable scoreline. Again, 2-0. And that second Pascal Gross goal is just an example of how switched on they were. And if you look at the United side, there was an opportunity as well in the second half where the goalkeeper Robert Sanchez parried the ball and it was mopped up, and United wasn't able to do what Brighton did there. So 2-0 at the halftime break, and it was a shocking. It was shocking, not it was shocking and not shocking at the same time. Shocking in that it's a new season, new manager, money spent, and the same old Manchester United that we see in last few seasons, right? So, look, a couple opportunities early on. Bruno Fernandes, I think, should have scored, sky the ball. United just they did not look good, man. Started the game well, and then they didn't look good. Allowed Brighton to score twice, and it was too much to do. Really, really too much to do, man. Too much to do, and they tried in the second half with the substitutions. Cristiano Ronaldo coming in early for Fred, and that was a catalyst, of course, to bring impetus in the game and everything. United trying to get back. They did get that goal back, but I don't think that goal should have stood. And the reason why I don't think the goal should have stood, the ball brushed off of Dallow's arm, not the Harry Maguire um offside call or whatever the VAR review. I think they missed the ball falling and brushing off Dallow's right elbow. And I think they probably missed that, or maybe it hit his back and went on his elbow. I don't know, but it looked pretty suspect to me. You know what I mean? So, we got to keep these Premier League referees under microscope, man, because they have not been that good over the years. But look, they did look a bit brighter in the second half. They did won the second half. Brighton, won the first. Man United won the second. But Brighton did, look pretty assured in the second half, where they didn't need to be overly expansive. They just needed game management to see out that 2-goal cushion. Man United did, bring the deficit down to 1, but Brighton was still actually able to hold on. At one time, United were just throwing the kitchen sink at it, man. You know what I'm saying? They had a lot of attackers on the field and still wasn't able to break down this Brighton team. Look, I didn't give Brighton enough credit when I made the Premier League predictions. I have them coming in 15, struggling a bit, maybe through the midway through the season. Remember last year they started well, from Peter away. Same thing could happen, but they've started they're heading in the right direction with a win against a team that most people would not have predicted them to win, and beat. But I think there's a few things that they need to brush up. Robert Sanchez, I think, need to be a bit sharper. Not many things, but in that aspect, Brighton could work on a few little tweaks. But Graham Potter, maybe he should have been given a Man United manager. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's what the move should have been. But, they want to go in for the Marquis signing, the Ten Hag signing, and that's what you get. That is exactly what you get, man. So look, even though Yves Bissouma and who else left the club? Cucurella, player of the season last year for them. Brighton still look good, man. Lallana must have loved the victory against United. And, of course, Danny Welbeck, the former United player as well. So, players to come off the bench: Levi Colwill on loan from Chelsea, Tariq Lamptey, Enoch Mwepu. You see quality. Dennis Undav coming in from Union St. Galois. He scored a lot of goals over in Belgium. And, look, you have even Premier League quality guys like Neil Maupay, even though he's been criticized for not scoring enough goals, on the bench. So Brighton will be okay. I think they'll be okay. But as of Manchester United, Ilanga off the bench, Garnacho, you could see Ten Hag looking to promote his youth players. They might not finish top 6 this season. And if this continues, guys, we might see disaster early, very, very early in the season, even before the World Cup break, where Ten Hag could get sacked. I won't be surprised if Ten Hag gets sacked. I won't. Really, really won't. If it continues like this, of course, they really gotta get their act together. And, they gotta do it fast, because fixtures are not gonna be kind. And when I say that, I mean fixtures are not gonna be kind, meaning that Man United lose and draw to anybody. You see what I'm saying? So you don't even know. You can't even look at the fixtures and be like, yeah, they'll beat such and such. You see what I'm saying? They'll beat this team. They got Brentford next, and then they got United. They got United, Liverpool. You see what I'm saying? So these are tough games. These are very, very, very tough games, man. And a lot of times the games that you think they should win, they end up losing or drawing those games. You know what I mean? And we know these days they're not capable of beating the Liverpools and the Manchester Cities. And if you're gonna drop 12 points against those two teams, you could kiss top 4 goodbye. You see what I mean? Because you already dropped 3 against Brighton. You could kiss top 4 goodbye, man. But look, kudos to Brighton. Big, big win. Back-to-back wins against United. And I think this is their first victory at Old. This might be their first victory at Old Trafford as well, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just see if I get a little insight on that one really, really quick. So Brighton registered their first ever away win over Manchester United, having drawn 2 and lost 12 of their previous 14 visits before today. You see, Manchester United have now lost their opening Premier League match in 2 of the last 3 seasons, having started with a win in 5 consecutive seasons between 15-16 and 19-20 before this. Erik ten Hag is the first Manchester United manager to lose his first Premier League game in charge since Louis van Gaal in August of 2014 against Swansea. It's just a Dutch thing, man. It's just simply a Dutch thing. What more can I say? So, look, these are my rivals. I was damn stoked. I was happy that they lost the game, even though that I predicted them to win. It was a very, very good weekend if you're a Man City fan. Liverpool joined, Man United losing, Chelsea ain't looking too good. You ain't gotta really worry about Spurs too much and Arsenal in terms of the title. So, is it safe to say that the title is Man City's title again? Nah, it's too early. It is too early, though. It is too early. But, guys, we could go on and on and on criticizing Manchester United. Do they need to make a few more signings? Do they need to get rid of a few more players? Did Ten Hag get his first 11 correct? I don't think so. He got a lot of work to do. And he have 37 matches. No, maybe not so long. He got 37 matches left, but he ain't got so long to get it right. He got to get it right. I think they'll give him a little leeway. They'll give him a little leeway, but not a lot. Because Manchester United don't want to be 15th after 15 games. You see what I'm saying? And I've heard that Sir Alex Ferguson is part of the think tank again. So that could be tricky. You know what I'm saying? That could be tricky. That might be, you want to just keep out. You want to put your 2 cents in there. Next thing, his assessment might be wrong. So, yeah, let United continue to, go through a crisis, man. Let them continue. It's fun. It is fun, man. So, look, in terms of Brighton and Hove Albion, their next game will be against Newcastle United. So that'll be a very, very good one. That's next Saturday. And then they do have West Ham, then Leeds, then Fulham. They have some nice fixtures. They have some really good fixtures, I'm telling you, coming up before they face Liverpool in October. Brighton could actually start this season off very, very good like they did last season and prove me wrong in terms of them finishing 15th this season. So for United, already mentioned they play Brentford, and that's a game that I don't want to miss because I tend to tune into every United game, every Liverpool game, every City game, of course, and I try to catch the Chelsea matches. I try to catch most matches, right? So I just hope that there's no clash in terms of that fixture. That's 12:30 next week. Okay, good. For me, 12:30 my time. That's very, very good. Tuning into that one. So, guys, that's my thoughts on this game. I'm very happy United lost. I hope they could lose every game this season, get relegated. It won't happen, but I could dream a little. So big up to everybody, man. Thank you very much, Football Journey, for Canadian $6.99 super chat. Big up, Dom. It's Alejandro Loaiza. Started a YouTube channel. That's why my name is different. Hope you're doing well. Caicedo balled up against them. Big up to the Ecuadorian Alejandro Football Journey, man. Go subscribe to his channel, and you should change the J in Journey to a big J. Okay, Football Journey. You know what I mean? Or you should maybe call your channel my awesome and beautiful football journey. You know what I'm saying? That'd be a nice name. That's catchy. Think about it. My beautiful, awesome football journey, some shit like that, you know. But yeah, big up to everybody in the stream, man. Do appreciate you guys coming through. What else we got? King Huddle Potter has proved himself. He will get a bigger club. I actually won't mind Graham Potter taking over when Pep Guardiola leaves. I won't mind that. Big up to the boy Michael Olapido coming in with a Marcus Rashford. Yeah, I won't mind. I won't mind Potter taking over at all, though. I really, really won't mind. So that'll do it for that fixture, guys. We're our 44 minutes in. We're doing very, very well. Let's talk about. Let us talk. I'm gonna leave the Liverpool one for last. Let's leave Liverpool for last. You got some Liverpool fans in here. And let's talk about them last. I don't want to talk about Liverpool and then they don't like what I say and then they leave. So we're going to talk about Liverpool last. Let's talk about Manchester City to West Ham 0. That's an away victory for Man City. Remember the last time we played? I'm a City fan, by the way, if you don't know. And the last time City played West Ham, we had to come 2 down from behind to draw the game. So this was a hell of a start to the season for City, I have to say. Very, very comfortable win, man. As comfortable wins come, this was comfortable. But, let's break this down. Let's break it down proper and proper. Look, 2-0 win for City. Erling Haaland with the brace. And I'm telling you, when he scored that penalty, I actually screamed out like a little bitch. I'm not afraid to say it. I was like, woo! That was beautiful, man. That was beautiful. I'm telling you, man. That was lovely. That was lovely. I'm telling you, that was look, it made me feel good, man. Because last week, when Erling Haaland missed that sitter, an inconsequential goal it would have been, he missed it, and Twitter went crazy. The internet went nuts. Everybody had their 2 cents to say about Haaland. Nunez over Haaland. This person over Haaland. Haaland is going to flop. He's 2 goals up. 2 goals up against West Ham. If he's going to do that against West Ham, think about what he's going to do. Teams like Forest and Fulham and Bournemouth. You see what I'm saying? And the lesser, the teams that are not so defensively sound. Gotta get my words right. Just think about it. All right? Because Haaland, when he get himself involved in a game, he can be a handful, I'm telling you. And I did notice a lot of tracking back from Haaland, a lot of going back to being involved in a play, to the link up play and then make the run behind the defense. Oh, he looked good today. I want to see the people that were talking a bunch of shit about Erling Haaland last week. He looked damn good. Ooh. Ominous signs for opposition fans, man. Ominous signs, man. Ooh, let me talk my shit, man. Let me talk my shit because I'm telling you, Haaland was good. Haaland was good. So, look, 36-minute goal for Erling Haaland, and that was from the penalty spot. And you know what I like? I like Gundogan with that pass. Haaland didn't even look at it. He just ran like he was taking part in, an Olympic relay, looking to get the baton. That procedure when you just run and you stretch out your hand. Erling Haaland got him behind the West Ham defense, right? And that was just after Fabianski got subbed off, injured. Areola came on, and he was so quick. He got to the ball before Areola. Areola took him down. And what I like about Erling Haaland here, when took up the ball, put the ball on the spot, ran up, and it was an unsavable penalty. We ain't got to worry. Look, I'm not saying he might not miss a penalty or 2 this season, but we don't have to worry about, oh, God, who's going to take up penalties this season. Haaland's going to take the penalties once he's on the field, put it away, and that was brilliant, man. Pulled out the celebration, ran, the yoga celebration, lovely. We saw him doing it for Dortmund. He came out doing it for City. Big up to Man City for bringing out the 3rd kit today as well. Don't know if I'll get it yet, but I think I'll get it. I think I'll cop myself that 3rd kit. I'm going to get all 3 kits this season. I am yet to get, I'm talking about kits, but I'm yet to get a couple Man City kits though. I'm yet to get a couple kits. I think I only got 1 kit last season, and I'm still yet to get that Paisley design from the season before. Yeah, I only got the home kit last season. I didn't get that beautiful white kit yet. Might just get it. But look, we look good. We dressed to impress. We came out there and we outplayed West Ham United. West Ham did start the game very, very well, and there was a little opportunity there by Antonio that he put over. He had over the goal. And Gundogan did score a goal in the 27th minute, but that was deemed to be offside. It was way offside. And then Fabianski got injured, and maybe that could have been the moment, a key moment in the game that could have helped Man City, because he's the main Fabianski, the mainstay in terms of goalkeeping for West Ham. And Alphon, what if Fabianski was on the field when the Haaland foul happened and the penalty was given? Maybe Fabianski would have did something different, and it would not have been a penalty, and it would have a totally different game. So that was a key moment in the game, though. The Haaland goal came, and big up to him for scoring on debut as well. And West Ham, they didn't threaten since early on in the game. So the first half was very, very, very comfortable. 1-0. Man City, Edison hardly had anything to do, hardly any threats, anybody running in behind. Bowen, Fornals, Antonio, they didn't really threaten too much on the day, I have to say. I think West Ham showed City a lot of respect in this game, and just allowed them to just pass the ball around. At times, it was, it seemed so scripted, like City was just, passing the ball here, bam, 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 and it's like, okay, West Ham, are you guys going to press? Are you guys going to try to get the ball back? Are you going to put put Man City under any type of pressure? Didn't happen, man. A few times, Declan Rice won the ball back a few times and all, but not enough in my opinion, though. So comfortable first half. Second half, West Ham still in the game, needing to, score to equalize, but they weren't really threatening enough in my opinion. So Rice did get a chance that he blasted over after Gundogan mistake. That was like early on in the first half. A couple subs were made. Antonio was dealing with a bit of injury as well, so that's some setback there for West Ham. They've been struggling in terms of defensive players and them being available, with Agbana, Dawson not being involved from the start. And Skamaka was introduced to the Premier League, and I think he did get a couple look-ins, not a lot, but he proved to be ineffective as well. So Ben Rama did come on as well. Lanzini and Antonio out, and West Ham made the first move, proved to be futile in the end. Gundogan did get City did create chances. Gundogan did get a good chance that he put wide as well, and then the goal came. That second goal, man, I'm telling you, we're gonna be seeing a lot of that this season. That second goal was sublime. That goal was awesome. I think that was a counter attacking goal. I think West Ham had a set piece. It was a corner, and if I could recall, I can't recall the how the goal started, but I know it was a breakaway goal with De Bruyne, Haaland being played in, and just it was just so sweet. The running behind, the way he timed the run was so key, and the fact that Haaland knows he has so much speed, he doesn't have to put himself in an offside position or risk going offside. He could give himself a few yards behind the defender because he knows he's gonna beat the defender. Man, the guy is so quick. I think you guys should be really afraid of Man City. And now saying that, I just hope he stays fit for the entire season, because if he does, he's gonna get close to 30 goals. Because imagine him playing 38 games with this kind of form, with this kind of, ability and determination, man. He just ran in behind, let the ball run, and hit it first time past Areola. Didn't take a touch before he shoot the ball. It was telepathic, the pass and everything between him and De Bruyne, the run, and it was just brilliant finishing by Erling Haaland with his left foot, man. 2-0, didn't stay on to complete the hat trick, but we would have already won the game. 2-0, man. I feel good. I watched the game without nerves today. It was a nice Sunday game, easy Sunday afternoon for me. You know what I mean? 2-0. I could sit here and say that now because last season, remember how rocky the season started out, losing against Spurs. So I feel good. You know what I'm saying? It was a good game. It was a really, really good game, man. The players look sharp. You know, Grealish is gonna get criticized, but I think Grealish played with a lot of control. You see what I'm saying? He knows he's on the scrutiny, so he wasn't doing the most. You see what I'm saying? He was just being calm on the ball, laying the ball off, not taking the wild, crazy shots, just passing the ball around very well. Foden from the start looked good. And you could see the options that Man City still has, even with Sterling moving on, Gabriel Jesus, Fernandinho, Zinchenko moving on. It's just still a whole lot of options for this Manchester City team, guys. Let's take a look at the 11. Edison in goal. And we do have options in the goalkeeping department now. Is if Pep says, hey man, I want to go in with Ortega Moreno, he goes in with him because he made the Bundesliga team of the season last year as the goalkeeper. So you go in with Kyle Walker. You could push Cancelo at right back if you want. And if Pep wants to experiment, he could bring on Wilson Esbrand. You see what I mean? At left back if he wants to, or push Ake at left back and play Stones and Diaz at center back. And this is the versatility you need if you are going to win things. You need quality, versatility, and depth in defense, especially in defense, because when your defense goes thin, you could definitely struggle. Ask Liverpool if you don't believe me about that season when Van Dijk got injured and Reece Williams and Nat Phillips was at the back and Henderson. Ask them if you don't believe me. Look at the midfield versatility as well. Gundogan, they have Calvin Phillips on the bench, Bernardo on the bench. Rodri is such a key player for Man City now. It's not even funny, man. It's like he has to start every single game. You know what I mean? And there will be games where he could be afforded a rest and Calvin Phillips will come in there and provide that same quality or even better. Who knows? De Bruyne has to play every game, but I think his workload needs to be managed very, very smartly. Not when we need a goal. De Bruyne is not on the field. He needs to be there, man. He needs to be there. And he needs to work hard, very hard as he's getting up there in age as well to just stay fit and, just have that durability during the games. Look, Erling Haaland. Erling Haaland is the key to City winning the title this season again. Erling Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne. You need the provider and you need the person who's gonna finish these delicious balls off. That does not sound good, man. Delicious balls. That I take that back. 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 Sus. You guys know what I mean, but come on. Could think about the words. Jack Grealish, the team is stacked up. The team is stacked up, guys. Rico Lewis. I gotta say something about this kid. I seen this kid twice in preseason. Oh man. He's the future. And I'm glad that Pep's having these guys in the setup. Wilson Esbrand, I want to see a lot of these guys this season. Cole Palmer, you could see an indication that he's gonna get a lot of game time this season, and he's gonna follow the Phil Foden route, into the first team and to prominence as well. And look, I'm just excited for this season, man. Julian Alvarez. Every time I see this player, man, I'm just excited. He blasted the ball into Kurt Zuma's chin. Maybe some karma for actually kicking that cat. And I don't know if that ball would have ended up in the back of the net, but look, expect to see some fireworks this season from Alvarez. Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, who's been, garnishing a lot of interest from Barcelona. Will it happen? Hope it doesn't. But if it does happen, look, expect City to use that money to, who knows, bring in another quality player because the club is attractive. The recruitment is almost second to none. And all City wants to do is just win, man, no matter what. I don't mean to, quote DJ Khaled or anything right now, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You look at the West Ham team, guys. They're not at full strength. Some players are looking to leave the club as well. You heard that Nikola Vlasic, Ben Rama could actually leave the club as well. You see youngsters like or new players in the team like Flynn Downs, Connor Coventry, who I think featured before for the West Ham team in the cup games, if I'm not mistaken. The bench look a little bit light. You know what I'm saying? Skamaka, new signing, big money move from Sassuolo. and you look at their 11, pretty quality team here for West Ham. I think they'll do well this season, but when you come up against, Man City, it is always going to be a challenge. But we know what West Ham are capable of doing. Look at what they did last season. Big up to them for smashing Liverpool on the 7th of November last year. I can't forget that day. That's my wife's birthday, actually. I went to the Everglades on that day, and when I saw the final score, I had lost service, and then I saw the final score, and I was like 3-2. Woohoo! Lovely. West Ham actually helped City win the title last season, if you really think about it. But look, a lot of work to be done for David Moyes and his team in terms of keeping the squad fit, maybe bringing in a couple more players. Remember, Maxwell Cornet was signed, but they're dealing with a lot of injuries right now. So, look, great win for City to start the season off. Liverpool didn't start the season off well, and Manchester United didn't start the season off well. So, it's actually a good look. If you're a Man City fan, it's actually a very, very good weekend. So, for City, the next game will be against Bournemouth at the Etihad, the first home game. And Bournemouth is a team that Man City just bully every single time they play each other. You know what I'm saying? So expect a good start for City. And winning the first two games of the season would put a whole lot of pressure. And I mean a whole lot of pressure on the other teams, Liverpool and Cole, who's in there for fighting for the title. So definitely, I'm looking forward to that game and looking forward for another win. As for West Ham United, we did talk about who West Ham will play next, and their next game will be against Forest. So it might be an easy one, or who knows, Forest might just bounce back after that loss, but both teams lost on opening day. So they will be looking to pick up their first 3 points of the season. So Pep Guardiola must be a happy man. I haven't been mentioning his name a lot today in the review, but you know what I mean? Look, Pep must be happy. He must be happy. I know I'm repeating myself, but when you bring players in and they do well, you see Erling Haaland score. I know he was relieved to, when Erling Haaland score, and, it must just calm the nerves, because you still will have nerves, even though you've won so many titles and you're looking to do the three-peat. You're still going to have nerves. You want to be successful. You have goals. You want to achieve those goals at the end of the season, and it's looking good, man. Still early times. Not going to get carried away with the win. I did predict Man City to come in second this season. Very humble of me to do that and to pick Liverpool ahead of City. But, I don't want to come off very egotistical and, braggadocious and say, yeah, we're going to do the three-peat. Look, if we run away with the league, and we're like 20 points up, yeah, I could ball and I could scream three-peat. But I'm not gonna be saying three-peat right now and then embarrass myself when we come in third. You see what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna just stay humble. Take it one game at a time this season. So look, just for some insights before we do move, Man City have now won 5 of their last 6 season opening league games as the reigning top flight champions, losing one. And that loss was against Spurs last season as well. Keeping a clean sheet in 4 of their last 5 such fixtures. The clean sheet is very, very important, as well as Edison has, I think, won the last 3 Golden Glove awards as well, so that contributes to his tally there. 1 on the board. Look, Sean Dyche, 15, is the only manager that Pep Guardiola has faced more times in all competition without ever losing to in his managerial career, excluding Barcelona B, than he has against David Moyes. 13 games against Moyes, 9 wins and 4 draws. Man City have gone unbeaten in their last 19 away games in the Premier League, winning 15 and drawing 4, extending their longest unbeaten run away, unbeaten away run in the league history in the process. So a lot of history being made, flying under the radar as well, but big win nevertheless. So I feel good, man, and that's my thoughts on that game. Could go on and on and on, but I think I covered a lot during that session there. So let me hear what you guys have to say in the chat, though. Big up to the obvious girl. Thank you very much, man, for, continue to be a member of the channel. Do appreciate that. Guys, don't forget you could support the channel and be a member, contribute something every month towards the channel. Don't forget, guys, Super Chat is also open if you want to, drop something in the donation plate, offering plate. Because this is church. This is the gospel. Okay? And you could hear me preaching right now. You know what I mean? You think about a church, you think about one guy be running the church. It's me right here. I'm saying the Fellowship of Dominic Rich F.C. What else we got here, man? Hot chili. KDB plus Holland. Yeah, crazy, man. Hot chili's also Holland and flopping. He's gonna be slapping up teams this season. So what the heck? Big up to Qatar again. Holland 2, Nunez 1. So we're gonna have a Holland Nunez race this season, right? So Abel is saying 20 to 25 goals easy. And what else we got here? He stays on the shoulders of the last man and runs in behind unseen. That's his strength. That's definitely his strength. Let me see. And even if you mark him, he could get away from you. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. It's gonna be interesting to see what he does when he come up against Van Dijk again for the second time in a real game, not the Community Shield, not go out there and have fun game. We play Bournemouth at home next in front of the home fans, seeing it for the first time. The atmosphere will be electric. Yeah, man. Guys, I'm actually attempting to go catch a Man City game this season. I want to go to England and just catch a game. I don't know if it's going to be possible, but I have intentions of doing so. Just want to put that out there. So when you see me in England, don't be surprised, okay? Don't. Release the chicken. It's in Holland steamroll the Premier League. I'm hoping that happens, though. So, King Huddle, I am seeing less tiki-taka through, though with City. Is Pep changing his style? No, man. There was a lot of tiki-taka in the game. There was a lot of passing, a lot of first touch passing and everything in the game. And not a lot of teams do it like Man City do it. I don't even think Barcelona tiki-taka like City, because the passing is just sublime, man. You know what I mean? And just the determination, the pressing game of these players is just different, man. It's just way different. So let me see. Devontae Caprice, Holland will make Man City great. Guys, make sure you smash the thumbs up button if you're yet to do so. We'll definitely appreciate that. I don't even know how many likes we got. I haven't been checking the like count or anything. So don't really know how many likes we have, but make sure you smash the thumbs up button. Support the stream in it any which way you can. Okay. So look, let's move on to the final game of today's live stream, match week 1 review. And that game is the very, very disappointing result for Liverpool against FC Fulham. And I have to say, as a rival fan, I did not expect this. I did not. You see what I mean? I predicted Liverpool to defeat Fulham. And just to refer back to my prediction here, in this one, this was supposed to be a 3-0 win for Liverpool, in my opinion. You see what I'm saying? I expected Liverpool to come up against a newly promoted Fulham and take them to the cleaners, send an early statement to the other 19 Premier League teams that, hey, we are here again. We mean business. Not saying you don't mean business, but I'm just saying you drew the game. 2-2 draw. Could have even lost the game if it wasn't for some brilliant second half football there by the likes of Nunez and Salah and co, whoever else contributed towards that. But it was not the best game. It was not the best football played by Liverpool. And you could hear the criticism from Jordan Henderson in his post-match, Jurgen Klopp as well. And like I said, Jurgen Klopp always find a way to come up with some kind of excuse, though. What kind of excuse was that, though? I've seen it on Twitter that Jurgen Klopp said that the pitch was dry. And Fulham came out showing pictures of the sprinklers on and a lot of sprinklers. So how was the pitch dry? Where do Klopp come up with these excuses? This is what I want to know. And this is a question I'm posing to all Liverpool fans watching this video right now. Why does Klopp have to come up with an excuse every single time Liverpool draw or lose, though? Why can't you just say, yeah, we're outplayed today, such and such were the better team, and we just got to go back to the drawing board and come better next time? Why are you blaming the wind? You see what I'm saying? Why are you blaming the weather forecast? Why are you blaming the workload of the players when you have 1,000 preseason games scheduled? You see what I'm saying? It could be for preparation purposes, but isn't that a lot of workload on you and the team at whole, the squad? You see what I'm saying? Stop making excuses. That's my point. Let's get into this game. Fulham 2, Marco Silva's Fulham 2, Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool 2. And I think Liverpool are very fortunate to salvage a point here. 2 points dropped. Maybe 2 points dropped by Fulham as well. You see what I'm saying? You see? And not just a point gain, but 2 points dropped. They should have gained all 3 points, in my opinion. They should have. But, Liverpool are a team. They have a lot of character. They know how to fight back. They know how to get back in games. They could have even went on to win it, but they did not play to deserve a win, in my opinion. A draw is a fair outcome. Just to refer to my notes here, let us take a look at let us just take a look at the lineups before we get into anything else here. Let's take a look at the lineups here. And let's start with Fulham. They chose to go with Marek Rodak in goal ahead of their new goalkeeper, of course, Bernd Leno, fresh from Arsenal. And maybe that's just for some continuity from the championship and not to just jump in with Leno and maybe see how Rodak performs. And then if he doesn't perform well, then you bring in, Leno. That's what you brought in Leno for. You brought in Leno for some quality, So you take a look at the 11 some more. Mitrovic. Alexander Mitrovic has to be involved every game, barring injury or illness or personal reasons. He has to be a part of every lineup for Fulham because he banging a lot of goals in the championship. And previously, when he did that, Fulham came up to the Premier League and failed to play Mitrovic. You see what I'm saying? Give him a couple games. He didn't play well, and then they just stopped playing him. You see what I mean? They can't fall to that, victim to that strategy again. And I'm predicting Fulham to stay up. And if they are to stay up, Mitrovic has to be involved. So that was a very good decision to start Mitrovic. He scored both goals for Fulham, of course. João Palhinha, he was rough, physical as well. And his presence also helped Fulham to pick up a point in this game. Newman making his debut. Andreas Pereira from Man United must felt good playing against Liverpool and getting a positive result. And the other players, a lot of familiar faces, guys like Tosin Adabarayo, former Man City youth player there as well. Kenny Tete, former Lyon man, Dutch man as well. Tim Ream, the captain, American international. Nice to see 2 Americans in the team there. Anthony Robinson, who was very, very good the last time he was in the Premier League with Fulham. Harrison Reed, a lot of experience with him. Neeskens, Kibano did hit the post, should have scored. Unfortunately, he didn't. The Congolese international there. Bobby Reed, back in the league again. They could over Reed. Dexter Daps himself. And, Alexander Mitrovic, João Palhinha, Pereira, as I mentioned. Shane Duffy off the bench. He'll bolster the squad in terms of defensive options. Kevin Mbabu wasn't involved from the start. He'll give them some pace on the right side whenever he's involved as well. Mana Solomon came on and looked really, really good. They got options on the bench and maybe more to come. So, look, even if they don't bring in anybody else, look, Fulham show us that they could compete. You see what I'm saying? with whatever they have there. If you're going to come up against Liverpool, the mighty, mighty Liverpool, and pull off a draw like that with these players, expect good things from Fulham this season. I'm predicting them to survive, and that's 1 point in the bag towards doing so. We take a look at the Liverpool 11 here. Very strong 11. Alisson fit again, along with Van Dijk, Robertson, Matip, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Wait for it. I'll get to him just now. Midfield, Fabinho, Thiago, Henderson. Henderson heavily criticized for his immobility. Thiago injured, of course. Fabinho had a so-so game, taken off in the 59th minute. That's, come on, though. You can't argue with that. Roberto Firmino had a nothing game, in my opinion. And the best players on the day for me, Luis Diaz had a very good game. Unfortunately, he couldn't score. He hit the post. Salah, hot and cold a bit. Started the game well, drifted it a little, and then came back strong at the end. And the man of the hour, Darwin Núñez. He's gonna score a lot of goals this season. I try to be as unbiased as I could and impartial as I could. And I'm not going to hate on Darwin Núñez like a lot of opposition fans. I've known this player before he came to Liverpool. And I'm not just all of a sudden going to switch up. He's going to score a lot of goals. And he scored his debut. He scored in his Premier League debut. Carvalho, he came on and he looked good for his cameo. Elliott as well. These guys going to have a big role to play. Milner, I think, had a chance as well that was blocked. But I want to see, if Liverpool are actually going to make any more signings. Naby Keita is still yet to feature. Oxlade, Chamberlain. We've always said Liverpool maybe need another midfielder, somebody who could come in with some dynamism, with some creativity. You see what I'm saying? So it's left to be seen to see if Liverpool are going to go that direction. You know what I mean? But Joe Gomez unused, Luke Chambers, a couple youngsters on the bench there. Liverpool bench looking a bit thin there, but should strengthen up as the season progresses. So look, in terms of my notes here from this game, let me just locate my notes here from this match because I want to actually just dissect this game properly, right? So very, very positive start by Fulham. Let's just make note of that. Dominant and direct. Liverpool not being shown any respect by Fulham in the opening stages of the game. And maybe that is something Liverpool should have done better. Start the game better. You see what I'm saying? Maybe get that early goal, put Fulham under pressure, force them to reply, and then score a couple more. You know what I mean? First 25 minutes of the game, still goalless. Fulham staying in the game, doing well, and very, very competitive in their approach. And Liverpool, they weren't themselves. They weren't, pressing as they usually do, the slick play, the fast movement. Who knows? Maybe they were missing Sadio Mane and Divock Origi and those guys. I don't know. Maybe they were. You see what I'm saying? But the goal came in the 32nd minute. And this is where this is where I'm going to start criticizing a certain player by the name of Trent Alexander-Arnold, okay? And I've done this a lot in the past, and Liverpool fans always keep, are you his lawyer? You keep defending him all the time. I know he's good going forward. I know that. I know he scores, he helps a lot in terms of his assists. Could see his Premier League record, 45 assists is high, 10 goals. I know. Not criticizing him for his attacking prowess. He's good going forward. We know that. Okay? We know that. But defensively, he's not good. He's inept. He is inept. Very, very inept. And we've seen another example. Don't make me go back to the Champions League final. We're not gonna go back there. But we're gonna talk about this game. Let's keep it this game. Alexander Mitrovic bullying Trent Alexander-Arnold, jumping up on his shoulders and heading that ball in the back of the net. Okay? You got to do better than that. You got to anticipate better than that. You got to boss up Mitrovic's face with your head. When he's coming down on your head, you got to go up too for the ball. You see what I'm saying? You're too soft. Just want to put it out there. You're too soft. I'm saying, look, he does have some good moments, right? But you're too soft. All right. The goal was scored. Let's double back to the Henderson foul, right? Henderson did give the ball away. He did give the ball away, but he was fouled. That could have been given in another situation. You could criticize the refereeing for that. VAR was reviewed. Bam, nothing given. The foul came after the ball was kicked away. But come on, guys. It was a foul. He was trotted on. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing. He was trotted on. It's not like if Henderson was acting. He was trotted on. And maybe it should have been chalked off by VAR. I'm gonna keep it 100. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it 100. If that was City playing there, I would have wanted VAR to chart that goal off because there was a foul in the build-up. Didn't happen. Okay, unfortunate for Liverpool, it didn't happen. And I know they're gonna say, "Hey, man, VAR against us, referees are against us." But at the same time, if you defended that situation better, the goal would have never been scored. Okay? So you got to give Fulham the credit there for continuing. Bam, bam, bam. Henderson had already given away the ball. You see what I'm saying? And the play went through. You got to give credit to the players over on the right wing for holding their run and, getting in behind and that cross. You know what I'm saying? That was a delicious cross. Who was that? Tete with the cross? Yep. Kenny Tete with the cross, and Mitrovic did the rest. So, good goal by Fulham. I felt good, though. I'm not going to lie, I celebrated the goal. Why won't I? You see what I'm saying? I'm a City fan. I want Liverpool to drop points. I'm not predicting you to drop points every game. That'd be like suspect. But I do want you to drop points, just the way you want me to drop points. You see what I'm saying? I'm just being as petty as you. Talking to the Liverpool fans all the time. I'm talking to y'all directly. No sugarcoating anything here. So good goal, man, and that would have given Fulham a lot of confidence, a boost coming up against an opposition like Liverpool to score that first goal of the game. And I think they deserved it. That goal was actually on merit. That was merited. Liverpool forced to respond. Luis Diaz looked bright. He hit the post. Unfortunate not to score. That would have been a very, very good goal. And I have to say, Fulham were the better team in the first half as well. Just overall better team. Liverpool needed to lift themselves in the second half, right? And I think changes were needed. If you go down to the lineups and you see when the changes were made, Harvey Elliott, Darwin Núñez, early changes, 51st minute here. And that was for Thiago, a forced change, his injury, and Firmino, who just couldn't get himself in the game. And those changes were good changes. Very, very good changes. There were more changes again. Fabinho came off 59th minute. James Milner came on. And I think James Milner had a chance that was actually blocked. So you got to give Fulham the credit. When Liverpool came roaring back, they put their bodies on the line and they kept them out. So Niskens Kibano did hit the post in the 57th minute. Very, very good play. Unfortunately, he did not score. Núñez did have a very, very good chance in the 61st minute with a cheeky, innovative, attempt, but it was foiled by Rodak. And then the goal came similar, very, very similar attempt, and he was helped out by Adebayo. And you got to give credit to that was Mo Salah with the ball into the box as well. So Salah woke up. He didn't start the second half too brightly, I think, but as Nunes came on and, he started getting more involved, you got to keep Salah involved in the game. You have to keep him in the game. If you isolate more Salah, you're going to have problems. Salah was your highest goal scorer last season, so you got to keep him in the game, man. And if it wasn't for Salah, the big money man this season, meaning his wages, he got to raise. So he got to raise his performances as well. Good ball into the box, and Nunez clinical, well, deadly, I should say. Clinical. I won't say he has not been as clinical as he should be, because if you go back to the Community Shield and this game, he should have scored a bit. He scored twice so far for Liverpool in Community Shield, and the first he could have scored at least 4 goals if he was more clinical, though. But who knows? Maybe he's still acclimatizer. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt, though. But Liverpool back in the game, but they allowed Fulham to go ahead again. And that's another controversial moment where Alexander Mitrovic was played in, allowed to get in behind, and Mitrovic, with some, slick foot movements there, got the better of Virgil van Dijk. We know he does not give away a lot of penalties, but that was an instance where Van Dijk gave away a penalty. And I don't want to hear no Liverpool fans telling me about, that wasn't a penalty. That was a penalty, guys. Maybe the contact wasn't a lot, you know what I mean? But it was a penalty. It was a penalty. And Mitrovic, come on, he's a striker, he knows how to, initiate these things. Just the way Salah and Mane knows how to, you see what I'm saying? Get these pens. Mitrovic knows. And well put away. Well put away by the Serbian. Guys, remember, Serbia will be at the World Cup, and Mitrovic will be at the front line as well. So good goal. Well dispatched. And I think Alisson did go the right way and he went on to him. Good penalty, though. Liverpool needed to come back again. And who else but Mo Salah? But look, before the goal, there was a couple chances, though. A couple substitutions made before the Salah goal. A couple substitutions made. Carvalho and Co came on. Mana Salaman did come on previously for Fulham. Couple, changes. Liverpool needed to respond, and they did. You know what I mean? Tim Ream and Harrison Reed, one putting their body on the line, the other clearing a shot off the line. Liverpool started to look good. They had the bet. They were the better team in the second half, in my opinion. They won the second half 2-1, but the game was a draw. But they won the second half 2-1. If they had more of a complete game, maybe they could have picked up the 3 points, but they didn't. But look, that Salah goal, Nunez with the assist, I think it was very fortuitous. Am I saying that word right? Fortuitous? I hate to say that word. It was a lucky goal. It was a lucky assist, I should say, though. The ball played in, Fulham not dealing with it. It just fell on Darwin Nunez, his foot. I don't think Nunez meant to lay it off for Salah, but inadvertently did so. And Salah in the back of the net, man, clinical as usual, and that was the equalizer. And at that point, Fulham, they needed game management. They definitely needed to walk away with a point and not forced to go on to force the issue to win it. Because if Fulham had tried to go for the win, they would have lost the game, and they could have. They definitely could have, with that Jordan Henderson shot that hit the post there. So, I think you got to give Liverpool the credit when they deserve the credit, and you got to criticize them when they deserve the criticism. And I think they deserve both credit and criticism in this draw. Credit for bouncing back after going behind twice, and criticism for not winning against a newly promoted Fulham and not being the energetic selves. You see what I'm saying? Where was their pressing game? The pressing, the counter pressing, the fast, slick movements. Maybe they were missing Sadio Mane. Maybe. Who knows? Or maybe they're just tired from all the preseason matches. Maybe they're not seasoned yet, but it's still early. Remember, Man City lost their first game last season, still went on to win the title. But I think for Liverpool, the key for them winning the title is actually a good start, just like the way they did when they won their only title in the last 30 odd years. I don't mean to rub that in. It's just facts. It's just facts. You got to start well. They basically won the league in October the last time around, So could they do it again? I'm predicting Liverpool to win the league. I just want to put it out there. I'm predicting y'all to win the league. I'm predicting y'all to win the league. Prove me right. Go out there and win the league. You know what I'm saying? The pressure is on. Am I putting too much pressure on Liverpool? Maybe. But as I mentioned earlier, I just couldn't bring myself to predicting City to do no damn three-peat, man. See what I'm saying? That's unrealistic. That's delusional of me. And for City to win it, do the three-peat, oh my God. Whoo! That'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. So big up to the boy Michael. Talks football. Make sure you go check out his channel. You drop in a €2 super chat coming all the way out from Finland. And he says, Klopp saying the pitch was dry had me dead. Yeah, man. Come on, man. Come on, Klopp. You could do better than that. You could do way better than that, man. Like, the pitch was dry and they had the sprinklers on. Like, Klopp? Really? Come on. But Liverpool do come up against Crystal Palace in the next game, a team who they do fancy playing against. So that would be, something to look forward to. But Crystal Palace got to bounce back after that loss against Arsenal. So it might be a tricky fixture as well. But it's left to be seen. And that game will be the first home game at Anfield this season. So there's a stat that Virgil van Dijk has never lost a competitive fixture at Anfield, by the way. He was injured when Liverpool were losing for fun at Anfield. And then there's the game between Liverpool and Manchester United at the Theatre of Dreams and Nightmares. That's coming Monday, August the 22nd. I'll be looking to do a watch along. The last time United and Liverpool played, Michael Talks Football and I did a watch along. That was epic, though. That was epic. So, in terms of FC Fulham, the team from London, the next game is a meeting against Wolves. Then they do face Brentford, Arsenal, Brighton. Not some bad fixtures at all. And seeing that they picked up a draw against Liverpool, they will be fancying their chances against these oppositions as well. Okay, so with that being said, guys, that'll do it in terms of my review this week. For the reviews, guys, I don't mind going as long as I want to. Seriously, I'm kind of hungry right now, but I really don't care. And it's about 20 minutes after midnight, and I really don't care about it. I just want to talk football right now, seriously. So big up to everybody in here. What we're going to do before we do move on, let's take a look here and see if there's been any updates in the transfers here. So let's just go down here. Summer transfers in terms of the news. We have some news here for Bournemouth. They just brought in Neto from Barcelona on a free, okay? So that's one of the latest updates. And you could see Neto pictured there. And West Ham have signed Maxwell Cornet as well. Just to run down the list to see if there's been any movement out that I noticed and any movement in. For Arsenal, everything remains pretty much the same. You have a lot of movement going out of the club as well that I didn't even talk about in the last live stream that I did. A lot of movements for Arsenal. I can't even go. This is a lot of players from the academy as well. Guys like Charlie Patino, Folarin Balogun, and guys like Nuno Tavares moved on. A lot of guys got moved on to the from the first team, and also guys from the academy as well. So we go down to Aston Villa. The same signings, nobody new coming in. Maybe Rory Wilson. I don't know that player very well. Ewan Simpson as well. I don't know these players very well. So those are some new faces. I'm just looking at some new faces that came in from the last preview that I did. The preview, the match day one preview, I talked about all the transfers, but I'm just seeing if I see any notable movement from the respective clubs. All right, Aaron Ramsey, Jacob Ramsey's brother, went to Norwich. That's a new one, I think. What else we got here? Brentford. They're gonna bring in Mikkel Damsgaard. That's gonna be a really, really key signing, in my opinion, if they're gonna survive. And that's one of the newest ones. Let me see. Mads Bidstrup going to Nottingham on loan. That's a notable one there. And Marcus Fors leaving for Middlesbrough. I did talk about those ones as well, though. But one of the big one is Christian Eriksen going to Man United. So for Brighton, nothing new. Levi Colville coming in, of course. He debuted. In terms of players going out, I just want to see if I notice any outgoings that I did not touch on. Lot of players from the academy and from the the U teams, on the 23, on the 19s, and so going out on loan there. Andy Zakiri going to Basel. I think he was at Basel last season as well, so he's going out again. You know what I mean? So Shane Duffy going to Fulham. That's one of the latest ones. And Mark Cucurella going to Chelsea. Coming in there for Chelsea, Eddie Beach. Don't know that player very well. Omari Hutchinson from Arsenal. These are some youngsters I think they just bought for the U team. Gabriel Slonina, Chicago Fireman. Connie Chukwuemeka and Mark Cucurella, two of the latest signings for the first team. And guys going out, I talked about all these guys already, I think, you know what I mean? But I didn't touch on guys like Tino Angerin going to Huddersfield on loan, and Ian Matson to Burnley on loan, and now Levi Colville to Brighton. All the others are not really, relevant in my opinion. So Crystal Palace, Cormac Austin, didn't touch on him. Players going out, Martin Kelly finally leaving the club. He's been released. In terms of any updates here, nothing else. Benteke going to DC United. Everton, they're finally going to get some movement. Connor Cody might be coming in along with James Sarkowski, Ruben Vanaga, and Dwight McNeil. Any guys, any new movement going out? Nothing that I talked about already. Fulham, I touched on all these. I think Shane Duffy coming in is the latest one. Let me see. There's a lot of movement for the lower league play, the lower the youngsters as well. Not gonna touch on those. The Leeds, same. Nobody new. Luis Sinistera wasn't fit enough to feature on the opening day, and pretty much, I covered most of these outgoings already. Leicester, no incoming, which is very, very weird. But you have Kasper Schmeichel leaving, the most notable one, and Eldin Yakupovic as well, another goalkeeper leaving the club. So another notable player is Kanya Leshabella. I thought they were actually going to give this player, I think he's South African. I thought they were going to give him an opportunity at Leicester, but he's gone to Crewe Alexandra. He did have a few cameos in the league, one or two, I think, and he looked good. So Liverpool, only 3 players in. Are we going to see Liverpool bring in any more players? I think Liverpool should make at least another signing, though. I would, Fabio Carvalho for the midfield, Darwin Núñez forward, Calvin Ramsey in defense. I would like to see another midfielder. Just as a footballer, a football fan and not like a rival fan, because if I'm thinking as a rival fan, I hope Liverpool brings in Fokin Nuwan. You see what I'm saying? But a midfielder is actually needed, and I think a dynamic midfielder, somebody who could provide assists. I know Thiago is, he has quality, but he doesn't provide enough assists. You need that player to give you that assist as well, and to help with the goal scoring workload. Think about it. Thiago, Fabinho, and Henderson doesn't provide enough goals. The Liverpool midfield need more goals. I know, the forwards provide a lot of goals, but if you have the goals coming from midfield, it'll be even better. I touched on all the outgoings as well, I think, but not really guys like Billy Comatillo going to Austria, Vienna, Connor Bradley, who we've seen a lot of last season, to Bolton. Who else could touch on there? Owen Beck to Family Sow, Reece Williams to Blackpool, Tyler Martin to Blackburn, Leighton Clarkson to Aberdeen, and that's just some of the youngsters getting movement, get a move out to get experience. Marcel, even Peter Luger going to Macclesfield Town there. So those are some of the ones that I did actually touch on. You go to City, 3 signings. Do we need another signing? Calvin Phillips for Fernandinho, Stefan Ortega for Zach Steffen, Erling Haaland coming in for Gabriel Jesus. Raheem Sterling left the club. Julian Alvarez was not a signing for Sterling. Julian Alvarez basically came in for Ferran Torres. So basically, we could do with another signing. You see what I'm saying? Preferably, in my opinion, I think we could do with a very express winger. We were linked to Rafael Leao, and that would be a good signing, in my opinion. You know, we need somebody we could bring on and torment people down the wings, along with the Erling Haaland torment that we already see that's going to happen in the league. You see? But just to touch on the outgoings, these outgoings are very, 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 very important to talk about. Fernandinho, most of these are sales, a few loans as well. But Fernandinho, he left for Paranaense, going back to his former club. Gavin Bazunu going to Southampton. CJ Egan Riley, who showed a lot of potential, went to Burnley on a free. I'm pretty sure company had a lot to do with that. Taylor Harwood Bellis to Burnley on a loan as well. His development continues. Gabriel Jesus to Arsenal. Darko Giabi to Leeds. That's like a sale from the under-23 team. I don't know that player very well, but Tommy Doyle to Sheffield on a loan. He has, a bright future. I don't know if he does have a future at City, but he's a quality player, has a long lineage of, in a football in his family. Romeo Lavia, he already looked like a peach of a player at Southampton. Raheem Sterling. City made a lot of money this summer on transfer. Zach Steffen on loan. Muric was even sold to Burnley for about $2 million. Zinchenko for big money to Arsenal. Jan Kuoto, still very promising. He's at sister club Girona. I don't know if he got a future at the club. And James McAtee, who definitely could have a future at the club, moving to Sheffield United on loan. So you got United. Only three signings. United gotta sign more players. Terrell Malacia is not a player who you could say, oh yeah, whoa, what a quality left back. He's decent. You see what I'm saying? Got potential. Lisandro Martinez, he looked okay at Ajax, but I'm not gonna say that's a marquee signing. You see what I'm saying? Koulibaly is a marquee signing. That's a big signing. United should have gone in for Koulibaly. He means business. Christian Eriksen, he might either work out or don't. You see what I'm saying? And the outgoings, a lot. Are United going to replace all these players? I'm not talking about with youngsters coming up like Garnacho and Mejbri and Ilanga and all these guys. I'm talking about real quality coming into the team that you could call on and bank on at any given time. Cavani, Mata, Pogba, Lingard, a few youngsters, a lot of youngsters. Lee Grant release. I'm not going to get through the youngsters, but Nemanja Matic to Roma, Dean Henderson, Pereira, Alex Telles. Come on. Where's the signings? I hope United, as a rival fan, don't really sign nobody else, and De Jong does not go to United. But as a footballer, I keep saying footballer, as a football fan, they need to do better than this, though. Come on, right, guys? They need to do better than this. Sorry if I'm not looking at the chat right now, but I just want to get through this transfer update right now. And for Newcastle, nobody really knew. Maybe a few youngsters coming in, Alex Murphy, Charlie MacArthur, but they haven't really splashed the cash. They just brought in players they think they would need. Nick Pope and Botman. My target was already there from Aston Villa. And guys leaving, couple guys going out on loan. They're looking to, offload and refresh the team with letting Kieran Clark and Gale, Jeff Hendrick, Freddie Woodman, guys like Isaac Hayden leave the club. Maybe we'll see a few more players leave and a few players come in. You see, Forest, they're doing the most. So they better hope it pays off, because this is a lot of fucking movement. You see what I'm saying? Mangala, Jesse Lingard, you have Toffolo, Lewis O'Brien, Brandon Aguilera. This might be a youngster. Wayne Hennessy, Nico Williams, Omar Richards. These are a lot of players who are not proven themselves in the Premier League. You see what I'm saying? And this could either work out for the better, or it could be a disaster. Could be a Fulham 2.0, if you ask me. Not gonna get into the players that they released, because I don't know the players very well, but I did touch on that in the replay. Not the replay, the match week 1 preview. Southampton, Mateus Liz. I did touch on these players already. Sekumara, we didn't see any of him yet, but they're choosing to go with youth, and it could be a damn mistake. Mix it up, for God's sake. Mix it up. Okay? I think Joe Aribo is 25 years old, if I'm not mistaken. Don't know the player very well from Rangers. But Shane Long, Dan Lundulu, Will Smallbone, names that we're familiar with. Fraser Foster have all left the club, either on loan, sold, or released. Tottenham, same. No new signings. Spence, Longley, Richarlison, Bissouma, Foster, and Perisic. Good signings. Richarlison, good signings. And no major players not many players have really left the club. Bergwijn, you think about him, he left the club. Big money. Joe Rodon, Rental Ren. Who else? Notable names. No other notable names, really. You know what I'm saying? So Spurs are, they're doing well in the transfer window. West Ham, Naif Aguirre's injured. Areola made permanent. Flynn Downs brought in. Skamaka and Maxwell Carney. I think they might need maybe another defender. Issa Diop might leave the club, who knows? But if Issa Diop decides to go, they need another defender. They're really light in that regard right about now. Remember, guys, Masuaku went to Besiktas. That one was a shocking one to me, but I think Masuaku left because he doesn't get enough game time, and Cresswell is preferred at left back, or Ben Johnson. So I think that's why. You go to Wolves. Wolves need to make signings as well. They're going to bring in Grealish along with Nathan Collins from Burnley. And guys that's going to leave, Connor Cody is going to leave. Maybe a few more players would leave. But Saiss, he went to Besiktas. John Ruddy left. Long time at the club. Keanu Hoover, you know what I mean? Just brought Liverpool, kind of swindled Keanu Hoover in there for the Jota deal. Fabio Silva went to Anderlecht, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's just an update there in terms of the transfers there. So, yeah, I just wanted to do that, to do something complete. And what we're going to look at really quick before I actually run out of here, just something I want to do every time. My neck is kind of thinging me right now. My neck is kind of getting stiff. I think it's time for me to get up out of here. By the way, there's Champions League qualifying football on Tuesday, Wednesday, Europa League on Thursday, I think. A Conference League, I think. So you'll have football to actually look at this week. And there's other leagues as well. But let's take a look at the Championship. Let's see what's going on in the Championship for the opening 2 match days. Let's take a look. Let's go, man. Championship, guys. Let's run through the fixtures really quick, man. Championship. Let's see what happened here. Match day 1, the Championship, guys. Big up to everybody still here. Make sure you smash the thumbs up button. We're going on a marathon live stream today. Burnley beat Huddersfield 1-0. Good start. Cardiff beating Norwich 1-0. The newly relegated Norwich and newly relegated Burnley as well. Don't forget, guys. Rotherham and Swansea to a 1-1 draw. B- Blackburn Rovers 1-0 over QPR. Luton Town and Birmingham played to a 0-0 draw. Hull defeated Bristol City 2-1. Wigan 0, Preston 0, Millwall 2, Stoke 0, Blackpool 1, Reading 0, Middlesbrough and West Brom played to a 1-1 draw. Sunderland, newly promoted, I think, and Coventry played to a 1-1 draw. I can't remember the teams promoted from the League One, but I know it's Sunderland and one of those teams. Newly relegated Watford a goal to nil. Who scored in that game? João Pedro. What does Watford look like these days? All right, Bachman. Yeah, same Watford from what was in the Premier League. Same names. Yeah. They made a few signings as well. Look at Sheffield United these days, man. Poor Sander Berger. Such quality. He ended up in the championship for yet another season. Ender Stevens, John Flick, Ollie Norwood, George Baldock, John Egan. The team still look pretty intact. Ryan Brewster and Billy Sharp, Max Lowe, the team looked intact from their last Premier League outing. So that was match day 1. And you go to match day 2, Birmingham 2, Huddersfield 1. Norwich bounced back with a draw, 1-1 against Wigan. Burnley, who went behind in that game, bounced back against Luton. Keeping a good eye on Burnley. Company in charge, Josh Brownhill with the goal. Look at how they set up these days. Muric, former City man in goal. Howard Bellis, City. Matson, Chelsea. You have, who is this? Is it Charlie Taylor? Connor Roberts, these guys are still with the club. Josh Brownhill, of course, still there. Jack Hawk. Cullen, I'm not too sure about. I don't know him that well. Bastian, might be some new faces. Costello and Ashley Barnes actually still with the club. Wow. Off the bench, you have Egan Riley, came from City. Vitinho, don't know this player very well. Gonna keep it real. Don't know some of these players very well at all. So a lot of promotion from the youth setup as well. Pretty sure taking part. But look out for Burnley coming right back up. If Company managed to pull that off, that'll be a big achievement. Sheffield 2, Millwall 0. Stoke 2, Blackpool 0. Preston and Hull City playing to a draw, 0-0 draw. Sunderland with a thrilling 3-2 win over Bristol City. Blackburn Rovers with another win over Swansea, 3-0. Reading 2, Cardiff 1. QPR 3, Middlesbrough 2. The game between Coventry and Rotherham was postponed, and West Brom and Watford play later at 3 p.m. I won't be able to do a watch along. I'm going to try to do some championship watch alongs this season, though, if I can. But Watford and Burnley come up against each other, guys, on Friday. See if there's any other fixtures that I want to. Yeah, maybe not. But yeah, if I could do watch alongs for the championship, I will do. This is what the standings look like after match day 2. And Blackburn Rovers are on top. Sunderland second. Burnley, Birmingham, and we have Hull 5th and Sheffield United 6th. Not going to go further down, but not starting well at all. Huddersfield Town and Bristol City losing their opening 2 matches there. So they got to get their act together and they got to do so fast. If you look at stats, players already being prolific. Andreas Wyman for Bristol City with 2 goals. Charlie Cresswell on loan from Leeds at Millwall with 2 goals. Ellis Sims on loan. Where's he on loan from? Is it West Ham or Aston Villa? One of them teams. I saw the highlights there. He scored twice. Lewis Travis with 2 goals as well. And if we go down to the assists, we have Ryan Hedges with 3 assists. Alex Pritchard, who we're pretty familiar with 2. Ashley Barnes with 2. Josh Tiemann with 2. Zach Viner with 2. So, guys, remember a lot of players are scouted from the championship. So it's very important to take a look at the championship, something that I didn't do a lot of last season, and actually, keep tabs on what's going on in the lower leagues there, man. So big up to everybody. So Ron, Dom, you're not gonna have me on the show one of these days. I'm actually looking to do something where I bring people on, but you guys gotta have your stuff. You guys gotta have your stuff intact, man. I can't have you guys coming on and hear kids crying in the background and dogs barking and we gotta have some semblance and some quality to the thing. You see what I'm saying? So if I do like a show where I have 10 people come on and we just discuss football, certain things in football, then you guys gonna have to have your shit sorted out. You see what I'm saying? Get in a room by yourself or something. Say, hey, wife, girlfriend, I'm gonna be away for like an hour. We're gonna talk football or something. You see what I'm saying? Can't have any and anybody jumping on and showing their privates and things like what happened to Ankit. He got his channel, taken away, but ended up getting it back. We got to be very careful with these things. You see? So look, guys, today we're not going to take a look at the other leagues or anything like that because I could go around Europe. We're not going to do anything like that right now, but whenever I have some time, we will do that though. So, look, big up to everybody who tuned in. 2 hours, 54 minutes, almost 3 hours. A hell of a show. I'm hungry. I'm going to go upstairs and make myself a nice tuna sandwich and I'm going to go to bed. I shouldn't be eating this late, but I'm damn hungry, man. Okay? And I have work to do as well. I have to update the thumbnail. Something I want to do, like I took some pictures of what I have on right about now. The swag is very important. And I want to update the thumbnail for this. I want to do a couple clips for a couple of the reviews that I did. But it's a bit late. I might have to do that in the morning or tomorrow or something. But the thing about those things, you can't wait too long because they lose relevance very, very fast. I might actually just download the thing and get them out quick and get those out before tomorrow. It's already tomorrow, but before daylight. But look, thanks to everybody who tuned in. Guys, these are not easy to do, and especially as one man, but I enjoy them. And it's a bit therapeutic as well, and it's fun to talk shit about Manchester United losing as well. So Michael saying going to see Real Madrid versus Frankfurt on Wednesday. Oh, that game is on Wednesday. I haven't even made a prediction for that. I think I might actually make a prediction for that too. Maybe I'll think about that tomorrow. All right. So big up to everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. We did pretty good. We had almost 100 people in here, and the season is still early. I was on a 2-month break, somewhat sporadically made videos, and I have to build up the momentum again. You know what I mean? Where we should have 100 plus, close to 200 people in here every stream this season. I'm looking forward to that because we bring in the fire, we bring in the heat. Okay, so subscribe if you're new, like the video if you haven't yet done. So thanks to everybody who's tuning into the replay and who enjoy the stream. From your boy Dom until my next one, which might be the Champions League review or the upcoming match week 2 preview. I like to say peace out. Thanks for watching. Rich Squad. Peace.